camera, right?
Mm.
Eddie posted about his camera, and I resisted the urge,
No, I
but I,
saw it. I
but I,
forgot to. I forgot. I meant to. I meant to engage in the tomfoolery.
but see, it was a troll. It was a troll without trolling.
No, you were still. It was not without trolling. It was a troll.
Oh my goodness!
Mm.
He said he was feeling optimistic.
Spell it.
No,
He has huge burdens on me.
Oh shit.
shit's so fucking crazy. Oh boy, I hate
It's a small world
everyone.
after all. It's a small world after all.
Is it? It
It's a
really is,
small
yo. You
world
know what?
after all. It's
When I
a
was messing
small
around with
world after all.
that Oculus Rift, I went on the Google Earth thing again. I started realizing just how really small like Earth is, right? It's really fucking small. And there's only a few places I gave a fuck about. What up, Vermin?
Oh sure. What up, Vermin?
It's so it's even smaller.
I don't think
Right?
that's how that works. That logic doesn't. I don't think that
Listen,
logic's my guy.
I don't give a fuck about those places, so it's even smaller than me. So this is the world. These places I give a fuck about.
Sure.
Oh man. I mean, for all intent and purposes, I don't give a fuck about this place, that place. It's too cold there. It's too ass here. Like so you know what I'm saying? Like this shit crazy. It is absolutely bananas. It is 81 degrees right now.
Mm-hmm.
And real field temperature is probably 90. It was literally like that the other day where it was 89 degrees, but it felt like 98 degrees. It's right. It's like god damn. And Cindy sent me Cindy's temperature actually wasn't that bad for Florida. For Florida. And then she wound up getting you know, they had some sort of a storm that was popping up there. Right around the same time, it looked like it was going to storm here and didn't do shit. It didn't do shit. Now I don't know about Baltimore, but I know down here in College Park, it was threatening. We heard the lightning, I mean the thunder and all that other shit. It ain't do a motherfucking thing. It was like pump. It was pump faking. Right.
Yeah, it was
We're gonna do
supposed
it.
to. It was supposed to storm here too, and it didn't.
Kind of wish it did though.
Just didn't.
Kind of wish
Why?
it did because there. Vermin says high of 73 there. Man,
That's decent.
yo, I remember a couple of weeks ago, we was right there. We was right there. Actually, it wasn't a couple weeks ago. It was like last week.
Pretty much.
He was right there. It was some bomb ass temperatures. Hot as
Hey,
shit now.
I mean,
No, it's been hotter, but the humidity, I think, that is the thing.
right, right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I didn't even walk yesterday morning because I walked outside to take the mail out there,
And you were
packages and
accosted.
shit. Yo,
Fabo.
you couldn't even breathe. What's up, Fabo? Couldn't even breathe, yo.
No, nigga, that's not a plan. Oh, this nigga. It is not a plan yet. It is. It is. It is. But never mind. It's not a plan yet. God damn
Whatever,
it.
it's a concept.
No, it's not. It is not
It's
today.
today.
No, nigga. It is a
Yeah.
potential plan that may form in the future.
The fuck? We got plans all over the place, B. Listen,
That's a fact.
listen. My wife has a plan. I have plans.
Do I look
You
like a
have a
man with a
plan?
plan? I look like a man who plans things.
Yes, absolutely. You literally put
Shit.
together vacation trips. You look like a man that plans things.
Okay. All right.
You
Just
absolutely
asking.
do. So Vermin says last week it was high to mid 90s. So this is a much appreciated chant. Yeah, I bet it is. I bet it is. Fabo has plans on plans.
Yes, you're planning to plan this, but it is not a plan yet.
Listen.
Plan yet, it is not.
The whole deal is I'm glad that people are working towards plans.
Absolutely.
All of us need to be working towards plans. See which one of these, because the more plans as people got, the greater the odds that one of these motherfuckers is going to be the one. What's up, Biddy? Okay. We'll still be here in, 3 hours? We'll still be here.
Yeah. Boom, 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 boom.
Nah, yo, plans, that's a good thing. I was talking to my wife about a potential plan the other day. And I was like, okay, we're going to work on that. Then I'm working on mine. I know SBJ got his plan over here. He's doing something over here.
That's not, again.
We'll see what happens. It's a plan. Even if it's in the early stages, it's a plan.
It's not even in the gestation period yet. Like,
no. We can't just walk in there with Bushido Browns in the room.
See,
we need a plan.
That's my point. That's my point. That's exactly my point.
Yo, we used to say that shit about my homeboy Bucky, right? Going to the clubs. And me and my other homeboy CJ. To us, Bucky was Bushido Brown when it came to the ladies. and CJ used to be like, we can't just be rolling up in that club and Antonio Mann's in there. We need a plan.
Shit, absolutely, Vermin. I feel you 100% on that. Nah, ain't no way. You right.
You know what's crazy? I have solar panels on my roof. It's garbage.
What do you mean? Nah, yours.
Not the technology.
Right.
The people that are responsible for that. They're trash. It has not been what I thought it was going to be for these 3 years because they're trash.
Pray tell.
They don't service it the way they should. And you got to think, depending on where you have these panels installed, given the environment and conditions on the ground, some places are going to have to be serviced more than others. What's up, sis?
Facts.
Right? So after you've had this shit up here for a while, before we even moved here, you know that there is an abundance of squirrels in this in this neighborhood, and you know it's a tree on that side, and that's the highway. They let that motherfucker go untouched for all that time, and then when they finally came to fuck with it, what happens? Well, turns out squirrels not only have a highway through the solar panel overpass, they also have built homesteads all through that shit.
Barracks, if you will.
Dorms. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, they suck.
Got an Airbnb.
And look, then, only for your simple-minded asses to try to tap me on the show about doing troubleshooting for the box stat. Now, excuse me, point of order. I don't work for y'all. I'm the client. If you don't bring your funky ass out here and check this goddamn thing,
sir,
well, I don't even know, bro.
So we don't have to take a trip out.
that's what it is.
Your entire job.
That's your job. I don't even know what wattage that is, Vermin, to be honest with you, because again, that's not. Hey, I just moved.
Yeah, it's not his house.
Yeah,
and it's not necessarily his business to know that.
Nah, from what I'm hearing from the landlord, they have a service contract. They're supposed to come out and do that shit.
Right.
So don't be asking me, man.
Sorry, could you please go put a ladder up against the and go ahead and.
No, and that's the thing. They finally came out and did that. And that's where they discovered the squirrels up there, right? I said, so when was the last time you motherfuckers came by and serviced the shit? I ain't hear no answers.
2017.
I ain't get no answers. No answers. So again, not quite sure what's going on with that with them.
Safe haven for the squirrels.
Apparently,
That's where they started going when T'Challa was out there.
that's probably what it was. Oh, I got another story about that today too, and what my week was like too. I got another story about that. But yeah, man, it's one of them things. Listen, the only impermanence is the only thing that's permanent is impermanence, right? That's it. So I'm looking at shit that way. I'm not gonna be here forever, and I don't just mean one day I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna come on. So certain shit I tried not to let stress me the fuck out.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, just bring some people out here and do what you're supposed to do.
That's it.
That's all. That's all I'm asking.
That's all. Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about people not doing what they're supposed to do. Nigga.
Yeah, I mean, look, I get it, because that's what people do.
Right.
They don't do the fuck they're supposed to do. Right. We get that.
It's endemic.
It is, but because of that, just because that's the case, doesn't mean you get a pass. Well, I don't get to talk shit to you about you.
Absolutely. What?
Like, nah, bitch.
Oh, the shit will be spoken.
Yeah, because I got to get some
effectively. Respect.
I got to get some payback. What?
Absolutely. I need restitution.
Yeah, and if it's gonna be
you
that,
ain't about to pass me no bucks, I'm gonna take my shots. Get it? Bucks.
I'm gonna take ass.
Right.
Yo,
facts.
That is the facts, and that's how I feel about this place.
Well,
you ain't gonna pay what you owe.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna talk my shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I'm gonna talk my shit. Fuck you.
Sometimes you take what you can get, my guy.
Yeah. Ogma says his last landlord was the worst slum. Bro,
stay away from them.
I can't imagine what you went through with that, but I gotta say, if he matches Uplands,
that's yikes.
If that guy, that landlord, and his services matches Uplands, then he or surpasses Uplands, he need to be in jail. Speaking of Uplands, I went on Google VR, Google Earth VR. At least you got squirrels in that.
And they don't, just to let you know, they don't really suck your blood. Like,
you don't know that.
Okay. I ain't gonna hold you.
But I decided to go to my old stomping grounds. I lived up there for quite a few years when Siobhan was, but really before Siobhan was born, and for some years afterwards, right?
Yeah.
I lived up there. I heard they knocked down all this shit because they were supposed to be preparing for a light rail to go through there, which they didn't. They said, fuck it. Yeah. So I'm literally traveling through the area, and I see all the new shit. And as I get down to where my old apartment used to be, bro, I got to ask one question. When did they carve Sweet Valley High, that area, in a fictitious book, pluck it out, and put it right? What the fuck? Y'all went up there and said, yo, this is an outrage.
You didn't deserve that, nigga.
Listen. These homes. This is the thing that's crazy, because when I use Google Earth, I travel with that shit. When I go to an area, I go all throughout the area. So I'm literally going up all the way up Emerson Avenue, and I get to Emerson High School, and I'm like, all right, cool. Let me check out Upland. I go all through that. Those houses look very similar to the houses in Laurel.
Right.
Just a mile, not even a mile for real, from there is hell on earth.
Well, sure.
It is hell. It is hell on earth. This is, bro. We talking about Edmondson Village, west side of Baltimore. For those who have never been there and don't understand the reference, that's good for you. For those of you that have and do, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. For the Uplands, which was basically Emerson Village Projects, it ain't that no more. It's the Uplands community. You know what I'm saying? With these big, what's up, McKenna? With these big old nice houses, townhomes.
God damn. Whew.
Sitting at a current real feel of
I
100.
just busted one single drop of sweat.
Yo.
Because says she's sitting at a current real feel of 100.
I see. That shit is whack. Yikes. Do you hear any popping and cracking in the audio?
Nah, B, you good on my end.
Okay, so that's over here. That's a precursor to my shit about to act stupid. But anyway, I guess we can start.
I mean, sure.
Yeah, it's at the 11. So allow me to.
I just wanted to show the people what you was talking about.
What you want to show the people? Uplands?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You got any old pictures?
Oh, well, no, I don't have old pictures. This is the current.
Vermin says he hears the cracking and popping too. It's my audio interface being dumb. Marissa said it's 90 and quickly climbing. Dang.
Yeah, nah, I'm so happy that I got this goddamn AC in here now. Because, nigga. That and your audio went out, unless you did it on purpose. God damn it. It's going to be one of those shows. Yeah. This does not look like what Tim was used to. And he's upset about it.
Yeah,
I get it. But the whole thing is, he didn't deserve this.
How dare you? Siobhan deserved it. What you talking about? Okay, facts, right? I did not. The havoc I wrecked
Right.
over there in my. I did not
you
deserve.
talking
But
about?
Siobhan deserved that shit.
Sure, but
You know what I'm saying?
but
What,
she
sins of the
wasn't
father? We
here.
ain't doing that.
No, not even that. Not even that. She wasn't here when you moved there.
No, she
The
wasn't.
place
there.
isn't just going to change
They need to
while
do
you
something.
there, nigga.
Nigga,
That's
there
not
was
how
no
that works.
reason for my roof to cave in. There was no reason. After telling them for
That's debatable.
months,
It's debatable.
yo, I told them for months, see, there's a crack in the ceiling and it's spreading. They even sent maintenance people down there. It was like, oh, goddamn, here's a crack.
Hey,
Thanks for confirming.
the
What y'all gonna do about it?
Nothing.
We'll get back to you.
We just came down here to make sure you weren't lying to us. That's
And
it.
then when you couple that crack in the ceiling with neighbors upstairs, a woman with 5 kids, sound like a bowling alley up that motherfucker most of the time.
Sure.
It was only a matter of time. And I remember the night before the crash. Something wasn't right.
Mm.
The roof was hanging kind of a little lower than you know what I'm saying? That crack was glowing and all that shit. I'm
At
like,
least you were smart.
I moved, we had $5,000 worth of equipment. I moved all that shit out of there.
Yeah.
Just
You
on the,
was smart.
I don't know what's going on. Move, put it in the bedroom. Early in the morning.
Point of order, sir. Point of order, sir. I am fairly certain that is not the noise
Nigga,
that emanated from that
I was
event.
asleep. I was half asleep. That's what it sounded like. And I go out there in the living room like, what the fuck? And Marlon barely escaped with his life. And I was fit to be tied because all I kept saying is if Marlon had been directly in that shit right there.
Right. Oh, it'd be over.
my daughter typically when she was over there, she plays right in that area. I lost my motherfucking mind.
As you should have.
I went up to that rental office. They was about to call the police. Instead, though, they sent maintenance guys down there late as fuck. They go down there, and one of the maintenance guys got down there first, saw the equipment in the bedroom area, checking the whole place, saw the equipment in the bedroom, put that shit in some sack, this big dumbass sack, stole that bitch and slid it around in one of their storage areas. So if you thought I was on 10 when the roof went down, that was it, bro. We was getting burners, all of that. Like, nah. If it had not been for the security, these two black ladies, that was working security in that area, talked us down. She was like, listen. I get it. And you're right.
Right.
But the police aren't going to see that part of it at all.
Well, no.
They're not going to see that part of it at all. Y'all need to chill. We're going to get your shit back. Y'all need to chill because motherfuckers are going to die up there. Not even going to hold you. And it was way too many niggas. Once the work, yo, you hear that, man? Yeah. It was way too many niggas coming up there, out on the outside of the apartment building, like, cars are like, It was about to be real ugly. And we wound up getting the equipment back, but it was damaged. It was damaged.
Well,
so we had to sue him and shit.
Here's the most egregious part of all of this. Why aren't you rich?
I'm gonna tell you why. See, the way lawsuits work, you can win. You can absolutely win. There is no real guarantee you're gonna get your money.
Oh no.
It's just not.
No.
It's just not. So we got some of it.
How much was it
supposed
supposed to be?
Oh, we were supposed to get 10. We got like 5. And they put it on the dude that stole the equipment.
That's funny.
Yeah. We had to go to court and everything.
I mean, yeah.
And the crazy thing about it was the head of the maintenance department, who was talking all that good shit before the trial, came in there and tried to undermine our case, and the judge was not having it. He tried to say that equipment, when it was new, cost that.
Oh, okay. No,
Like
I guess that's a valid argument to attempt.
The judge wasn't trying to hit.
Right.
The judge wasn't trying to hit none of this. It
doesn't matter. You damaged it.
Nope.
You need new stuff.
Nope. Listen, it wasn't damaged before your man's put his hands on it. It wasn't damaged. So I don't want to hear about what it costs now. This is what they said it cost. So yeah. Shit was whack. It was whack. But that was my last memory of Uplands, right? So for me to see that shit,
it was a precursor. Your sailing fell in. That's a precursor for the destruction that has to happen before the rebuilding.
No, absolutely not. No.
Nah,
yo, that shit look way too good now, yo.
Word.
Especially for that area. Like, I'm born and raised in that area. Like, in Uplands, y'all have no Uplands. That shit look like some upper middle class suburban area. It does. So wait a minute. I want to give respect to Ogma's tale of woe with the landlord before we do the intro. So Ogma says, when the old ass landlord came by, I was like, "Oh, you guys come to remove the bats, right?" This 97-year-old man was like, "No, we just came to see them take off from your roof. We thought they'd look cool." So
That's an amazing response, though. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you.
August continues, mind you, 2 of my neighbors had been bitten by them. So by then, so basically, you had 2 vampires already circulating in your neighborhood. That's crazy. That's crazy. What's up, Sean?
Yeah, again, they're not really vampires.
No. Oh.
No.
Then he goes on to say, then when my neighbor brought it to them after she got bitten, they got caught turning off her heat with her kid in there. But they probably figured since now she's the undead, she really didn't need it. But whatever.
Makes sense. No, it makes sense.
So he said, yeah, I got to sue my idiot too because they won't
What up,
give me
Sean?
my deposit. You've been fighting with the legal insurance trying to get loyal. Yeah, that's
gonna be a bitch.
yeah, that's crazy.
For the last thing on this whole debacle, I just want to help
Illustrate
your point.
Mm-hmm.
See this is a house in the area.
Yes, yo, yes. I walk past.
It's going for $650. The value estimated is $826 actually. Yeah. So,
bro, when I was on Google Earth VR, I walked past that. I walked past it.
This is what's going on.
Listen to me, y'all. Listen to me clearly. This was project area.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This was project area.
Yep. Sure.
Once upon a time in the projects, yo.
Project no more. It looks complete to me.
Oh my, bro.
This is
I'm so heated.
They have a sunroom.
Look at
a bunch
yo.
of
I'm
land.
so heated, yo.
This is what's going on. They have a deck. Yeah.
I'm so heated, man.
This is what's going on.
This is under the space of 14 years. Because Uplands was still Garbino when I was living in Baltimore, and I moved from Baltimore about 14 years ago.
It don't take 14 years to build a house.
To rebuild the entire area though, like
no, it doesn't. Clearly,
it should.
Because
It should.
We got proof.
It should though.
No, let's don't, ladies and gentlemen, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. We have proof. It doesn't take that long. Anyway, yeah, we still working with the pictures. And
This is just
I'm
angry.
The pictures was terrible. They should have.
Yes, whoever, yo,
they're not really doing it justice.
they just showed me that Upland still owns it with these pictures. They just showed me. They just showed me that Upland still owns it with these pictures.
Yeah, this is a nice little kitchen. Is that granite?
I mean, the kitchen is okay. It's cool. Yeah, it's cool.
They got built-in chopping board. Cutting
I don't.
built-in cutting board.
Yeah, I don't like the backsplash too much.
No,
But,
I don't care. You can change that. Nice deep.
and
dark
what I don't like about it too, well, that's a preference.
Sure.
It's not an open floor plan.
Yeah, no, I get that.
You know what I'm saying?
But
that's preference.
You can change most of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
just,
can change
I'm
But I mean, you already spending.
I'm heated, bro. I really.
650,000. Let me repeat: 600.
Listen, ain't nothing.
For the house.
There wasn't nothing worth 650,000 in all of Emerson Village last time I was there. When I lived there, it wasn't a good thing.
And here's the thing. Yes, that's the most extreme example.
Yes.
But there were still houses going for 350.
Facts.
Houses going for 317.
Facts.
So it's not like it's just the one 650,000.
No,
a bunch of $100,000.
No, my brother. No,
Yeah, nah.
absolutely not.
Honestly, I'll go. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe not. I don't
Bro,
know
for
because
a second,
some of these places with these nice, they not retirement.
no.
Like my
These
mother's area, they not. That's not a retirement area. And this a nice little area. Nice little area.
Yeah, like like I said, I traveled all throughout that area on Google Earth. Nah, it's way, it's
Yo, August said 2 years ago you had to live on
gunshots
to get to your front door.
I had to Neo that shit, yo. Yo, but he not wrong.
That's crazy. I mean,
He not wrong.
Yeah, that's fair.
He not wrong. Like the shit was
They got
wild,
the riffraff away.
basically. But see, that's the thing. This is what I do wonder, though, right? Because I didn't go up further than that particular area.
Sure.
There was a gas station mart type thing there with a bar and a little club on Emerson Avenue. Numerous crimes were committed there.
Oh yeah,
all times of day and night. I wonder, did they knock that down too? Did they get rid of that? Did they move? Like, I wonder what happened.
Which part of Emerson Avenue?
All right, so you know when you go straight up Emerson Avenue,
right?
There's the Emerson Village Shopping Center.
Sure.
And then there's that Giants. And then across the street from that Giants was that bar, gas station, club, little small drinkers club, smokers club type thing. Right there. So many crimes. So many crimes happened there.
If you're talking about what I'm talking about, it's still a gas station.
The gas station's still there.
It's a show.
Yeah, it's a show.
Yeah.
But I wonder if that bar / little smokers club or whatever is in there. Yeah, because listen what I'm telling you. There would have been no peace. Even at them $650,000, there'd have been no peace. You had to rearrange that. Yo, you had certain elements you had to pluck out of there in order for that to work, yo.
That's
Look at
interesting.
that.
So
That's crazy.
I wonder why. Hold on, though.
That's
why is
crazy.
The house going for so cheap?
Are we in a
Because the house value was 800 something, but it was going for 650.
It depends on what the housing market is currently right now. I think they got a lot to do with it, yo. Because we know what it's like to have a housing bubble.
That's the difference of a house, though. Like
It
it's
is.
not a little bit of a difference.
It is.
Like, yeah.
Definitely.
Like you could buy a whole house with the money that you saved.
Facts. Facts.
That's crazy.
It is.
Anyway, let's get this started.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Listen.
Welcome everyone to the Black Culture Geeks podcast. This is my man SPJ. And I am Tombstone the Dead Man. And we are just a couple of geeks talking about pop culture from a black perspective. Facts indeed. Now, I'm sure just going off of what SBJ alluded to earlier, there's going to be an abundance of examples of motherfuckers not doing what the fuck they're supposed to do, and they're being discussed today. But we're going to start, of course, the first part of the segment is our week. Did you want to go first? Did you want me to go first?
I can.
Go right ahead.
If it's absolutely necessary, it's long. A lot.
I don't know if it's a lot, but it's yeah. So go ahead.
All right. So last week I talked about people wasting my time with the whole paper thing because the Gmail thing is solved, and I got to give the people the little guidelines to do
yes.
with the So more people were wasting my time. but here's the thing. People have been peopling, of course, because they're people. But there were actually fewer than I expected that gave me a hard time. Like
I find that hard to believe.
Bruh, I was pleasantly surprised. Like
I find that even harder to believe.
Shut up. The very first place that I went and gave the papers, the person annoyed the fuck out of me. The very first place on Monday that I went. Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. When I started doing it on Friday, last Friday.
That's gross.
Was I handed the paper to someone and I didn't have anything to say to them. I just handed them the paper and told them they had to sign. And then their response was, hold on, let me read it first. I understand that. That makes sense. I get that because it's generally a smart practice that if somebody hands you something, you read it before you sign it.
Right.
Absolutely. But because of him, I developed the whole spiel. Hey, here's the thing. I have a gift for you. Here's the thing. Read this. This is yours to keep. I need your signature on here to say that you received
it.
Not that you read it. that you received it.
Because I don't care that you read it.
Matters none to me. Like, some of you cool, and I don't want y'all to get fired, but at the end of the day, I have one job here.
It's none of my business.
Get the signatures.
Yeah. So
That's
I
my
can
job.
move on. So I can move on to the next shit on my day.
That's it. That's it. So anyway, fast forward to Monday. I had my spiel already because I had gone through basically the whole entire downtown office, and I gauged how people were reacting. I got time to form it and all that other shit. Get to the first person. Hey, I'm glad both of y'all are here. I got gifts for y'all. Here's one for you. Here's one for you. I need both of your signatures on this page saying that you received it. Oh, what's this? What happened? What's that? What's this? Where did this come from? How do I do this? Wait, let me finish reading it. So, that's cool.
Is it though?
I mean, it was like I tell people often. You know, medicine works both ways. If it's good for you, it's good for me. What up, Joe? There was nothing I could do about it, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
I tried my level best, but at the end of the day, there's literally nothing I could do. This isn't a scenario.
I guess your best
where,
wasn't good
like
enough.
a lot of things. No, my best was not good enough. There wasn't like most things at my jobs where, like, the vast majority of stuff, if the people that I'm telling to do don't do it, then I can escalate the situation.
Yes.
This wasn't worth that.
This is hilarious.
All those employees read the paper when they got home and found out SBJ owns 100% of their master's establishment. Hey, listen. It is what it is. The contract is null and void because they didn't actually sign the contract. They signed a separate paper. But anyway, so one interaction that happened, I'll admit that even I didn't see coming.
Oh damn!
I did not foresee this.
How did the watcher not see this?
I must have blinked.
Damn.
Because clearly. So I'm in the downtown office because Friday, I wasn't able to get to everybody. Some people weren't there by the time I started passing out all that other good stuff. So it was always going to be lingerers. So I'm walking around trying to catch the lingerers. I have to go into somebody's office. I do my spiel. They don't attempt to read it because they actually heard and understood what I said.
Okay.
In my mind, I'm doing backflips because this person has a habit of being a bit difficult to work with. But they didn't give me any problem with the papers. I thought too soon.
Yeah, I was about to say I'd have been suspicious of that.
They grabbed their pen, look at the paper, even put pen to paper. They touched the paper.
Who does that these days?
Shut up. Then they look up and say, hey, do you mind backing up 6 feet? I can't think of a reason why we should be this close. Now listen to me clearly. Stop. I know what you're thinking. Listen to me clearly. I'm all, I've made clear on here, I'm all here for the protocols and all that good stuff.
Hold on,
I'm
bro.
happy. No. Hold on. Let me get this bar out. I'm happy to encounter someone who is still conscious and observant of them, right? But there were a few problems. One, this person's office is 12 by 12. They also have a wraparound desk. So if I had to guess, the desk is about 3 feet deep. So the distance between the wall and the edge, the first edge of the desk is about 3 feet. Then the distance between the edge of the desk and the next edge of the desk is about 4 feet. And then the distance between that edge of the desk to the final edge of the desk is about 3 feet. So that leaves me about less than 2 feet, give or take, behind me. All right. Number two, you had the pen on the paper. In the time that you wasted being difficult, you could have just signed your name and handed me back the sheet, and I'd have been out of the fucking office. Especially since this apparently didn't dawn on them. Especially since I had to approach the desk again to get the paper back from you. Number 3 is if I only took a step back when they said this, like literally a step, like a foot length, not a foot, the measurement of the foot as in my foot.
Well, your foot's about a foot long.
It is actually about a foot long. But I only took a step back, not a giant step back, literally one step. And you were okay with that. So it clearly wasn't that big a deal. You just wanted a thing to say. And the last problem, and the biggest of them all. Now, they didn't have a mask on, which is absolutely fine because they were in their space by themselves. I entered their space. But I literally saw this person not a half hour before get off the elevator on a different floor with their mask pulled all the way down. What the fuck are we doing here? What are we doing? Why are you...
See, this is why I was about to say, you're not the type of person that's going to be all up in somebody's shit and talk to him. So when he says to you,
I was clearly on the other side of the desk.
Instantly know he's just being difficult.
Bruh. I was on the other side of the desk, masked up. Wasn't like I didn't have my mask on. Wear my mask all the time when I'm not sitting at my desk. I have my mask on. If I'm not sitting at my desk or sitting down eating lunch, my mask is on. What the fuck? What?
What he was basically saying to you when he said, could you step back a bit? You said that his office was not big, right?
Bruh.
He was really telling you to get out.
Right. Effectively. Listen. Here's the thing. If he didn't mean like get out of my office, he was effectively telling me to get out. It was the only way they could be 6 feet between where he was, because he was sitting up against his desk.
Right.
That's the only way there could have been actually 6 feet between us is if I was not in the office anymore.
Yo.
What the fuck, bro? Like, what are we doing here? Can we not?
No, yes.
It's too late.
No, we're
too late.
absolutely going to.
No, it's a thing.
We're
all right, so cool.
going to.
A couple little things. I was like 1 or 2 tank fill-ups away from inquiring to my boss and them about some type of
word.
Yeah, cause
word.
What up? But before I even got, damn, I didn't get gas yesterday. Matters not. Before I even went to fill up my gas again, she came out of her office like, "Oh, hey, I forgot to tell y'all.
Here's an allowance.
We bumping up y'all gas allowance because of all this crazy shit." I'm like, oh, okay.
I love it when they do what they're supposed to do and you didn't have to ask them. Yeah.
Bro. Yeah. It's amazing. And listen, I'm not privy to the actual conversations that happened, but if I had to guess, I'd imagine she was a big part of that happening because I know my boss.
Right.
She
right.
Like, it wasn't, I'm fairly certain it wasn't just the people in my department. I'm fairly certain it went around the company, but
right.
I'm also fairly certain she was a big part of like,
hey,
can we do this for the people? Because like,
for the people,
nigga, gas is from the time that I got what my current gas allowance is before this bump. Mm-hmm. By the time that I got to that point, what the gas was then to what the gas is now is double.
I bet.
So yeah,
I bet.
I was noticing when normally filling up my tank is somewhere between 30 and 35 buckaroos.
Buccarinos.
And I go to the pump and I'm like, hey, why does this say $65? That's not cool.
It's not cool. It's not cool at all. It's not
They
cool.
weren't doing anyone a favor. The IRS just changed the gas allowance for Texas. Yeah, that's still that. I'm not that cynical.
I am.
That's still been doing you a favor. I don't.
I mean,
care.
it's still
I'm
works
not
in your
saying.
favor.
I'm not saying they're putting themselves out by doing this.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's benefiting me. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
What happened to make it I don't care. Also, it's obviously noticeable.
Yes.
Yeah, I rearranged the studio.
Yeah, I know. I was about to ask you about your
just a little bit because
your Star Trek original series.
I got this. I've implemented a third monitor. It's a
I really hate you for that too.
Listen,
Like,
the funny thing is, I actually have another one. I just ran out of space to actually effectively use them, and I really don't have. I can't imagine. Like, honestly, one of the reasons that I never used 3 was because the way I was set up, I didn't really have the space. But also, I didn't really see the need.
nah, you bugging.
But now, it's absolutely useful.
Let me tell you something, bro. For years, I sojourned with one monitor, right? Then I met Graydon. He had like 7 of them motherfuckers.
Right.
I said, what could you possibly need 7 monitors for? Then I went and got a second monitor. And something went, oh.
Yeah.
Then I got a third one. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I had the space and logistically, it wouldn't be a good look for me because I need my camera in a certain spot. And the way I would have to set it up, it would be on a rack going upward like that, and it would block my camera. But I would absolutely do that. Absolutely.
Hold on real quick. Joe says, I get that. It's just that it sounds like they were saying it like they were doing it from the goodness of their hearts. I'm not sure how you got that from what I said. She literally just came out of the office and said, we're bumping up your gas allowance.
Nah, I know where you got it from. She said, the part where she said, well, all the craziness happening out here now.
She said, because the gas is high, we're bumping up your gas allowance.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't know. I didn't hear it that way. But, so yeah, I did the little rearrangement. I now had, because 2 things, I'm not done. I just did the part that needed to be done to get the stuff done that I needed to do because I had a bunch of other stuff to do.
Right.
Like I absolutely had to finish that deeper dive video.
Mm-hmm.
It was necessary. It has to come out tomorrow. So I just rearranged the stuff that I needed to with the time that I had. And like before, I was over that way, and I had an extra desk and effectively two extra monitors that were not being in use.
Right.
So now I'm already using one of the extra monitors. I'm probably not going to do 4 because, again, I don't really have the space to do that.
Right.
But I'm definitely going to find a way to incorporate that second desk as well. Because honestly, one might be. I might literally split the room for music production and video production. So that's excuse me. That's a thing that wasn't really set up that way before.
Yes.
As something that I could possibly do. So that's a whole thing.
This is as.
Speaking of the Dan Deeper Dive video, it's the first one I've did on a song.
What up, Cindy?
It's the first thing I did on a song, and there's a little bit of a change in format.
No, I liked it. I thought it was dope.
I'm really upset, yo. You have any idea how hard, like, it is to find? Not even find. Apparently, Lil Wayne has some power that no other rapper does.
Yo, he can look like
throughout this time.
He can look like a Gibbon, and girls still like him.
Shut up. Apparently, as long as I've been doing things, where I have to download songs or music videos from YouTube. I have not run into this problem. But every single Lil Wayne song, no matter if it's from his official YouTube page, no matter if it's from somebody re-uploading it to YouTube, no matter if the quality is 240, when I go to try to download it, the various ways that I've downloaded stuff from YouTube,
Right.
it does not work. Somehow it gets blocked. Every single
That's
Lil Wayne
crazy.
song, every song with Lil Wayne in it, like I'm like, what is how is this possible?
You may have to use OBS.
That's what I ended up doing. All of those clips with Lil Wayne in it,
That's
not all of
crazy.
them, but the vast majority of those clips with Lil
That's
Wayne in it,
crazy.
I had to use the OBS.
And then take the audio. That's ass, yo. That's ass.
That's ridiculous.
That's ass.
I'm like, yo, I mean, it's also my genius, whatever it is that you did. But nigga, I can get Jay-Z.
Yeah.
But I can't get Lil Wayne. What is anyway.
The thing that's crazy about all of that, the copyright stuff is, theoretically, you can use whatever
It's
you
fair
want to
use.
use.
No, it's
fair use.
It's not like I'm taking his song, uploading it as my own, and making money off of it.
No. Because one, YouTube's not gonna allow you to do that. See, they got the shit in place where the moment it's tagged with that ID tag shit, they'll send you a note if there's an issue saying, "Oh, you can't monetize this."
Right
now, if you can weaponize that, because when I was doing, I weaponized all the time. I didn't plan on monetizing this video, so I'm still gonna get my shit off, and that's it. As long as you ain't giving me a strike on my channel, I don't care about that anyway.
At all.
You know what I'm saying?
A couple deeper dive videos have
that shit don't mean nothing, yo.
Don't mean nothing.
That shit don't mean nothing. As long as you're not gonna give a strike to my channel, and this
I've
is
gotten
the
better
copyright
at getting around it.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
the first three, all of them, flag. I'm like, hold on. Like, notice doesn't really affect me, but I could still probably get away. I've rounded, like, and I've gotten better at using the clips that I use and all that other good stuff. But
Right.
yeah, it's
I mean,
a whole thing.
it's like I'm fairly certain that Graydon gets the copyright thing on his shit all the time, because he plays music on there. But they don't. To me, all that is a revenue stream for artists. That's just another revenue stream for the artist. When somebody uses your music on it, they can't monetize it, but you'll get the artist will get all the monetization that comes from that. So to me, it's a better trade off than telling me I can't use it at all.
Absolutely,
I'll take that.
Particularly, not every instance, but the vast majority of instances, if I'm using your stuff, there's a chance that I'm a fan.
Yeah.
So I don't care about you getting paid for it. Like, get that money, black man.
Yeah.
McKenna says, I do most things on my phone, including taking notes back when I was in college. Classes.
That's
like
crazy. That's one
biology,
screen, B.
physics, chemistry. Hold up. It's getting to a point. I only had a desktop computer for 6 months, and it was only for work. Everything else is phone or laptop. Yeah. The idea of 3 monitors hurts my brain. That's funny. Those first two things that you said, though, there's a story that's actually tangentially related. So here's the big one. Here's the big thing that happened. This goddamn. Actually, hold on. Let me do the last small thing first. It's two of them actually. Don't tell me how to do my job in my apartment. Here's the issue. So my partner in crime on this project that I'm about to talk about, she was having issues with printing something. It wouldn't print the way that she wanted to print, and I was like, all right, cool. So she's sitting here, and her I don't even know what to call her. One of her employees is
Her mini me.
No, not quite. One of her employees is in
Minions.
Kinda. Anyway, one of her employees is in her office with us while this is going on. So she's a little bit of a know-it-all,
which makes her very much annoying.
Yeah. So she was like, yeah, she was trying to print something and it cut off. And I was like, well, first of all, why is this in landscape? And she was like, that's how it came. I'm like, okay. So the employee was like, yeah, it's too big to be on one page. That's why it's landscape. Look, they sent it to you in landscape. It's two different things, blah, blah, blah. You can't print it out any other way, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that.
I know how
my
much
partner
you
in
hate that
crime,
shit.
My partner in crime looks at me like, is there really nothing we can do? I said, if it doesn't bother you that much, you can keep it the way it is. Is what I said out of my mouth. So she didn't really like that answer because she did want it to be portrait. So I was like, all right, fine, get up. So I went to sit down to fix it. The other one is looking at the screen as I'm doing what I'm doing.
Right.
And she's like, I went to go change something. And she's like, no.
Oh, see, no.
Ma'am.
No.
Man,
No.
you literally said that this very simple thing that I'm doing isn't possible. So clearly, you don't know what you're talking about. Leave me be.
This is the part that bothers me, and it's probably the part that bothers you. What this person does for this company is not what you do
Not even
for this
close.
company. So I need you to fall back and
Just
stop
fall back.
thinking
There's
you're
no
speaking
reason.
to an
No,
incompetent.
wait. No.
Nah,
You
B.
said too many words. I need you to fall back and
Stop
thinking.
speaking.
I said,
like who do
hello.
you think you talk?
But bruh, Joe,
Who you think you talking to?
you come here with a computer problem that you can't solve and you think that of me? I am the IT guy. Like, what are we doing here?
Yo, listen, a couple of things you don't do. You don't do, right? When somebody is operating in their field
I'm doing what I get paid to
in
do.
front of you and you don't get paid to do that shit, step your monkey ass off until they
Now, here's the
actually
exception.
fuck up.
Here's the exception. I will give grace for this very specific situation. If all of the following are true, if we had a good rapport to the point where either we hang out outside of work or that would be a potential thing that we could do, and you've tried, not thought in your head and realized it wouldn't work, actually tried what
Right.
I'm doing already.
Right.
Even if you're wrong, that's acceptable because you actually tried to do it.
Right.
And because we have a rapport. If we don't fuck each other like that, I don't care if you tried it or not. Leave me the fuck alone.
I
But
just
if we
feel
fuck
like-
each other and you've tried it, you can hit me with a, yeah, I tried that already. Still not no. Still
right.
not no.
That,
Yeah,
it's,
no.
It's that, yo. It's
Yeah,
that.
get the fuck out of my. What are
Stop
you-
it. You're breaking
So
things.
I literally ignored her, did what I was doing, hit print, and it came out portrait.
Now, I have to ask you this because this is very important for this entire, there's a certain way the story has to cap off the period, the exclamation point at the end of the sentence. When it came out, the way that it was preferred, doing the thing that you did, what happened after that?
Nothing. Oh, no, she made an excuse. Because it was small. It was small. It was absolutely small because it was a lot of information. You had to shrink it down.
And it truncated. Yeah.
So she was like, yeah, that's probably why they did it like that because it's so small that it's really hard to read. I said to my 56-year-old glasses-wearing partner in crime, can you read that? Yeah, I can read it. Oh, okay.
See, now and this
Well,
is
I can't read it. Well, why can't you read it? You're younger than me. No, she's probably a year or two older than me. Why can't you read it? Oh, because I wear glasses, but I don't have them on. That's like
that's like a personal problem. See, here's my thing. What I wanted to have this end the way this ended is, you pulled the paper out slowly from the printer, never, ever not looking at her.
Here's the thing. I am asking enough to do that. What happened is the printer is not in her office. So I would have had it got up, and that ruins it if I'm bumping into shit, tripping over chairs while I'm walking towards the printer. It kind of ruins the whole moment. So yeah, I couldn't do that. What I did do was make her get the paper, though.
Right.
I made her get the printed out portrait paper that she said was impossible to achieve.
Okay.
I did do that.
Oh,
But
man.
anyway, that's one small thing. Another small thing that I just remember, I didn't even put that in my notes. So I try my best. Protect black women, right?
Always.
That's my shit.
Yeah.
That's what I be on. And there's evidence all throughout the show, all throughout my Facebook, particularly my older one. So I did mention, I think on the show after I came back from Miami, that we had like 3 or 4 new black women in the office.
Right.
And I did hint at 2 of them I'm not really fond of
Because personalities.
Yeah.
Like, it's not because
they
they're
just
women,
be
it's
loud
because
and
personalities. Yeah.
At lunch, like
Extra.
Doing
Doing a lot.
Super.
Doing a lot.
I'll give you an example. Like at lunch, they'll literally walk in, having an out loud conversation. And when I say out loud, I'm talking about like you outside in Times Square and 3-4 feet away from the person that you're talking to, out loud conversation.
Like you're in a pressurized plane.
Bruh.
30,000 feet up.
Bruh. So on top of that, the one will sit on her phone
Neo?
with no headphones. Shut up. With no headphones and watch videos out loud at lunchtime.
She's bugging.
Bruh.
Bugging.
Then I don't care enough to know if she was playing or not. This one guy was sitting next to me, and he went to look at a video on his phone. Mistakenly, he didn't have it connected to his headphones. He didn't realize he didn't have it connected to his headphones. So it started out playing out loud.
Right.
The girl that I'm talking about, her response to that was
Complaint? No, she didn't.
Damn, that's loud. I can't even hear.
No, she didn't, yo.
Again,
No.
I don't know if she was joking. I don't care to know. I don't care to know. It doesn't really change how I feel about it, even if she was joking with him. Because you do this shit luckily I'm only down there 1 day a week for lunch. So I don't got to deal with it that much. But, so on top of that, they be having personal conversations. I'm talking about whether it's a phone call that they're having or talking to each other. They be having personal conversations out loud. Ugh. Like they sit at different tables.
That's cringy. That's cringy.
Why are you sitting at different tables if you're in conversation with each other?
So y'all can hear
Because that means you have to be louder.
Y'all can hear that. They want y'all to hear it.
Bro, like what the fuck? So anyway, so I had heard some of the details of the situation. I don't know all of it.
Yuck.
I don't care to know. I don't want to fucking know.
Right.
But something's issue with her husband and
Yuck.
Google Hangouts.
Yuck.
She's being accused of being on his.
Yuck.
So I'm about to leave one day, and my homeboy, he like, yo, the young lady that's at reception, she said, could you stop by and talk to her? And I'm like, I don't know who the fuck's that receptionist. Because we have one receptionist. When she's out,
this is one of the new ones.
Yeah, well, we have one receptionist. When she's out, there are a myriad of people that could possibly be. There are like 6 people that could possibly be filling in for her. So I had no idea who the fuck was there because clearly it wasn't the one that's usually
to talk to
there.
you. She probably was trying to tell you. Hey, I know she be eavesdropping on a lot of shit we saying. Could you stop doing that?
I swear to God, listen to me. Clearly. I wish a motherfucker would. I can't even say what I would do because I don't want to incriminate myself. But anyway, so
oh, boy.
she's like, "Hey," first thing out her mouth, hey, what time is your lunch? Ma'am, what do you want? Just tell me what you want. Because that lets me know. That lets me know it's not work related. All right, cool. It's not work related. I get that. Like I'm only down here for lunch one time a week. Mm-hmm. You only see me during lunch one time a week. But anyway, whatever.
Like that.
So I'm like, what's the issue? What's going on? And she like, I have in my Google activity, it says that I've gone to Hangout. I've searched for Google Hangouts or something like that. And I was like, she was like, I'm trying to figure out how that could possibly happen because I didn't do it. I said, well, if your Google activity says you went to Hangouts, you went to Hangouts. Yeah. Now, it may not have been your person.
Right. But
it
your account,
somebody, if you're logged on to Chrome on your computer, on a tablet, on a VR device, on a phone, whatever. Oh, celebrity, the jaded one has entered the building. If you're logged into Chrome on any of those devices, that's going to track your account activity, and it doesn't know that it's not physically you.
Right.
It just knows that the account associated is doing these things.
Exactly.
So that was the first thing I said to her. So she's like, yeah, nah, I don't really have none of that. But I definitely didn't do it. I said, well, then you absolutely have at least one of that.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, something this, something that, and I don't do this and I don't do that, and I don't even remember the password to my Google account. It's not on none of my other stuff. It's only on my phone. And I'm like, okay, well then it's a possibility somebody hacked you. But the issue is when you look at your activity and it gives you the location, they're all here.
Yeah.
So again, I don't know if it's a child. I don't know if it's your husband. I don't know who it is. Somebody has access to that account, whether they know the password or not. They have access to that account, and they are doing this on their account. I'm not saying that they're doing it to accuse you of anything. Maybe they're just doing it and not realizing. Maybe they're just as oblivious as you are. Maybe your husband searched for Hangouts or some shit, and then had your phone one day and went through your activity and saw that you were searching for Hangouts, and then got mad because you were searching for not realizing that that's actually him. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I ain't say that part because again, I'm not supposed to know.
Yeah, you ain't supposed to know.
But
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. So I just don't understand how this happened.
Enough
of
the not.
Just explained it.
Yeah, enough of that. I
literally just explained it to you. That is how it happened. Some account that you, unless you're just lying to me, which I don't give a fuck. I don't know you, and it doesn't affect me. But account.
The way you describe
somebody
her,
has used your account.
Performative. She comes off very performative.
Bruh.
So
somebody has used your account to do this. I don't even know what the real hiccup is. Like I don't know why it's an argument. I don't really care. All I know is I know how this shit works. Somebody with access to your account has searched for Google Hangouts.
Facts.
Whatever time it is that you're saying that this happened. She like, yeah, one time it said I was at some place. I don't want to have the one time with the discussion with you. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I know I wasn't there at that time. Okay, so that means that somebody with access to your account, and we just keep going back. I'm not like, I don't really have any more answers for you like that. Well,
yeah,
no, I didn't say that, of course. What I said was,
you should have said that.
Shut up.
You should have.
Shut up. What I said was, all right, cool. So what I would advise you to do is change your password immediately.
Yeah.
And that would solve any issue like this moving forward.
I mean, you would think,
say
right?
you're not logged on anywhere else, and if you change your password, it'll log you off of those other places, and you'll only be on your phone. So anyway. Wow. Now, McKenna said, don't get me wrong, obviously you guys actually use it. I'm saying more kudos to anyone that can focus on that. I think I'm too squirrel-brained that I would go crazy. No, that none of that was what I was referring to when I said this is tangentially related to you, your comments. This, what I'm about to say, is tangentially related to your comments. So, with this online program thingy that we doing. I've talked about it several times on here. We try and get it working out and all that other good stuff. We're moving to another. Well, let me get into it. So the company that is doing this, that we're working with, has been lying to us. Now hold on. So we actually had this meeting, which is the main thing I'm talking about, last Friday. But because I didn't know how long we would be spending on Roe v. Wade, and because all the other stuff that I had, I skipped it.
Right.
Actually, for content purposes, it worked out because now it's an entire story.
Right.
So we and the people who we're working with to go get our stuff all online and stuff have had some interesting interactions lately. Far be it from me to tell anybody that they are a liar. That's first of all. But how thin is the line really? This actually goes back to 2 Fridays ago. That's when it all started. They sent us an email. They said,
What, the Friday after next?
shut up. They said that they spoke to our agents at the 2 locations that have the system in place already, and that the agents there said that everything was going well. So because of that, he asked, can we move on to the next location? He suggested what is our biggest and busiest location. Now, I wasn't in the office at the time. My partner in crime had called me when she got the email, and she called me in a panic. She asked me if I saw the email. I hadn't yet. She explained it to me. She was dead set against this particular location being the next location we moved to. I definitely felt where she was coming from. But before we finished that conversation, before we got off the phone, the one vice president out of the 3 that would even be bothered to be involved with this basically told them we can proceed. So, since the decision was already made, apparently, I stopped thinking about it.
Yeah.
Not my monkey, not my circus. Told you, I ain't in charge of shit. When it comes to our employees
You're your own
doing
monkey.
what we're, well, sure. When it comes to our employees doing what they're supposed to do in order for this to be as successful as possible, then I got a little bit of pull.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm not in charge of shit, and I don't
Right.
want to be.
Right.
So I get in that Monday, and my boss asked me what I thought about it. I asked her point blank, are we saying that we're married to this company or not? She asked me why. I said, because,
Wouldn't they know? I mean, there's
shut up.
legislative.
I said, because if we are, then this is a terrible idea. That was just with me knowing how the process has gone to that point.
Right,
And
right.
and knowing the place that we're talking about going next. Boy, was I in for even more BS, and I had no idea that it was going on. So she told me she understands what I'm saying, but it's time to sink or swim. I said, okay, bet. I'm with you. Because I know where this is going.
You put on your life preserver and said, fuck it. Let's
Bruh, I know where this is going. I got the violin ready. I will be playing, to mix metaphors, I'm Nero on the Titanic. So I already had my prediction on which one of those would be happening, sinking or swimming. Now, fast forward to the meeting. We had a conference call with the other company. Now, one of the benefits of this thing is that applications are supposed to take between 3 and 5 business days to complete on their end. What that means is they get the app, do whatever investigating they have to do, and then that is, they got to do quite a few different things. But once they do all the things, they give us a recommendation on whether we should accept the app or deny the app. 2 things that are a part of the process is they verify where the applicant is living before us, which is the VOL, verification of landlord, and they verify the income, which is the VOE, verification of employment.
Mm-hmm.
I had heard my partner complain that some of these applications were going up to 13 days without everything being done. And mind you, it's supposed to be 3 to 5.
Damn it.
Mind you, before the online, the other apps that are not part of this online process, we tell them 5 to 7 business days. So we're part of the reason we're making this transition is to make that time shorter, and you've doubled it.
Right.
So they're going 13 days without having those things complete. So to give you a frame of reference, the 2 locations that are live with the online shit in a recent month submitted about 60 applications combined. Those 2 locations, and with that workload, we're having some apps delayed up to 13 days. This location that they're talking about adding that same month did about 66 applications.
Yo.
On its own. So we're talking about more than doubling the amount of work that y'all got to do, and y'all can't even get it to what y'all promised at this point.
That doesn't sound like a good idea at all.
Wait. Also, mind you, we don't have anything to rent. We just started doing evictions again. Once they pick up that 60 between 2 properties, small change.
Yeah.
That 66 at that one property?
Yeah.
I wish. So,
in other words, they about to start setting people's shit out on the curb.
hey, listen, it's an unfortunate reality of the business that I work in.
It's inhumane.
It is absolutely, bruh. But, so vacancies are still like sub 5% right now. Just to throw a figure out.
Underwater.
We just started doing evictions this past week. Once they pick up, we'll have way more units available, blah, blah, blah. I digress. So when we asked them in this meeting about the 13-day delay on the apps, he comes back with this slick little report that he did for his company and the progress and how.
Damn, why it's gotta be slick?
I'll tell you why. He tells us that for one of the 2 jobs, they're averaging 3.4 days to complete, and the other job they're averaging 3.8 days to complete. Now, I know that sounds weird. That sounds like maybe we're nitpicking that one app
Little bit.
13 days. That's what it sounds like, right?
A little bit.
And those numbers are great. If the window is supposed to be 3 to 5 business days and you're averaging 3.2 and 3.8, yeah, absolutely. Well, the reason their average is so low is because they're counting apps as done before they finish the work.
Right. Right.
They will update an app status to recommended approval pending VOE. Now, here's how useless that is. If you're in charge of hiring people at your job and your boss gives you a list of applicants and a note on one of them says, recommend hire pending background check, you can't then call and tell that person they have the job.
Right.
No. Whoever's job it is to do the background check has to get on it.
Yeah.
Now imagine the person who gave you this recommendation is the person whose job it is to do the background check. So the other pertinent things that happened in this meeting are that we specifically asked them if they had the capacity to add this new location, given all the problems that they've had with the smaller 2. They assured us, yes. Okay. Also, I asked for the test link for the new location as I need them to start training our people. I need our people to start training as soon as possible. He said to me, oh, that's not a problem. Again, this was last Friday. Oh, that's not a problem. I can get that to you today. I get to work this past Monday, And I see an email that he sent that Friday. And it says that he hadn't forgotten about me and that I would have the link Monday.
Okay. Welcome back, Biddy.
Yesterday, as in Friday, the end of the week of the Monday that he said I would have the link in. Yesterday, he sends an email saying, hopefully the link will be ready by next week. He didn't give a day this time.
Right.
So, isn't it like business 101 to not overpromise and underdeliver?
Yeah.
I mean, so far, no outright lies have been told. Right?
But the ground is fertile.
Right.
The ground is fertile for
Well,
that sort of thing.
All right. So, also when I got in Monday, I had an email from one of the locations, one of the 2 locations that are live, saying that they were having issues with the system. They mentioned that they had made the other company aware of these issues.
Right.
But he said he talked to the Jobs, and both of them said everything was going fine. Okay, so Tuesday, I went to the other of the 2 locations that were live already. I didn't mention the system at all. I didn't talk about it at all. Didn't bring it up. I just walked in and said hi. First thing out her mouth. Who told them we weren't having any issues? So both places having issues means to me that he couldn't have possibly actually asked them.
Yeah.
And they said everything was fine. Okay.
Yeah, see, that soil was overturned, getting ready for some lies.
Bruh.
Planted in there. That, yeah.
And it's like, here is the thing. I'm petty. He's lucky I don't
You
have
don't
the power.
say.
Listen, he's lucky I don't have the power. But don't let me be asked.
Yeah. How can they stop you?
No, ask. I said don't let me be asked.
Oh.
Don't let me be asked if I feel like
Facts.
it makes sense to keep going with this.
Ask me no questions, I tell you no truths.
Bruh.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Do you think, how do y'all feel? How
you
do I
don't
feel?
really
You don't
want
really
my
wanna
take
know.
on that. You
Bruh.
really
You
don't
don't
want my take on it.
Tell me you didn't just ask that. No, seriously, like, and again, this isn't personal, so I'm not gonna be like super petty, but it is my honest take. Like,
Yeah.
I legitimately feel, and ask anybody that's actually involved on the ground of this, I'm doing everything I can to make it work. I legitimately feel like it's not going to work. I legitimately feel like
it's a bad idea.
it being at this place is, at this point, is going to. Here's the thing. I feel
There's
like,
a fail incoming.
bruh, I feel like if they built it out everywhere else first, then and got that right, then the success of those would have made the failure that is inevitable to happen at this big location
It is
look
inevitable.
more like an anomaly.
Yeah, right. Instead of something that's
And then we could
baked
have
in the cake.
made it work potentially.
Yeah.
But going there now, first of all, and I'm getting to McKenna's point. I'm already getting pushback from our people that are there about the new system.
Right.
I'm already getting pushback. One of the things, well, it's hard. It's not easy for the applicants to put in their applications. Why is it not easy? Because they got this tablet. The reason it's not easy for you is because you don't know how to use a phone. And here's the thing.
How dare you?
No, fuck that. Because what I'm not going to do, if you are a vice president and you make a decision on this, ain't shit I can do.
Right.
I can try to talk to you and reason with you,
Right.
But at the end of the day, your decision is your decision.
Yeah, facts. That's a fact.
Whether that be my boss or the other 2 vice presidents involved, if they make a decision on this thing, that is what it is as far as I'm concerned. Maybe one of the other 2 vice presidents can say something to sway them, but it won't be me. I can't.
Nah, I feel you.
I don't
I
got
feel
the
you.
stroke. I don't
I
got
feel
the stroke.
you.
If you are anything beneath a vice president, try.
You are beneath me.
No, you're not beneath me. You're not
That's what
beneath me.
you're saying.
Listen. No, I don't got no power. Here's the thing. Here's the amazing part of my position. I have 0 power. I have power vested
You have
in
power.
me.
You
No.
have power.
Listen, I have 0 power. I have
Listen.
power vested in me. The power that I wield is not my own.
You're juggernaut.
Facts.
And and guess what? On Earth, nobody
fucking
sees the
with.
distinction.
Yeah.
Nobody sees it. Sure, Cinerat gives you your power.
Right.
But on Earth, nobody
I
sees the
have
distinction.
no power. I am not in charge of anything. But what y'all not going to do is obstruct this process because I'm unstoppable. Juggernaut. Come on. I'm too quick with it. TMB. Too many bars. Anyway.
Yes.
No, but seriously. What I'm not going to allow it to happen. And here's the thing. I don't have a problem being wrong. If you have an issue with something and I don't see the issue and I take it to my vice president, my boss, and she's like, no, I kind of see what they're saying. Okay, cool. I'll leave it alone.
Right.
There's no ego in this for me because, again, I don't want to be in charge. I just want the shit to go smoothly. I want it to go as smoothly as it can, so there's less stress on me, less stress on my partner in crime, less
You're
stress
trying to
on my
move
boss.
on to the next thing. See,
That's it.
Yeah, like I don't want to be. I don't
When
want
my
the
boss is
roadblock.
stressed, there is potential for my life to be made harder.
Right.
Whether it's because she's taking it out on me, which she doesn't do, or if it's because she's so stressed or busy or pulled in different directions that she can't do the things that I need her to do, that I need her
Right.
help with.
Right.
Either way, that makes my life harder. That's not what we're doing. You're not. I love you in some of these cases. I love you. You're not going to make my life work harder.
Nah.
I'm not going to allow it to happen.
Fuck that.
Prime example.
Fuck that.
Prime example. There's one person. You ever met somebody that's like super difficult, but they operate under the guise of being easygoing?
This is literally everyone I've met since I was 30.
So she gives off the guise of being easygoing, whatever the company wants me to do, blah, blah, this, blah, blah.
It's cat.
So what
It's
happens
cat.
is, whenever a decision, this has been my experience with her since she's been at the location that she's at. Whenever there's a big change or discussion or decision to be made, she will start out with particularly, this is why, in my opinion, I could be wrong. In my opinion, I think it's an ego thing. Specifically, if you aren't directing it to her, but she's in the room, because there are 4 managers in that room. So if I even look like I'm directing this to any of the other managers, this has been my experience with her. She disregards. She acts like she's disinterested.
She is.
No, she's not. She acts like she's disinterested, and she will like, oh well, yeah, I don't got nothing to do with that. Then later on in the process, she's super interested. She super wants everything to do with it. Every time, literally every big decision. So with this one, my boss was like, because originally we were going to give this place 3 tablets. And then we talked about it in that meeting that we had. And it was like, nah, like a part of this should be making this easier for the potential applicants.
Right.
So one of the ways we can do that is not having them wait around to have to use 3 tablets. Let's say it's 2 groups of 4 people trying to apply. That means that any given time there are 6 people just waiting. So not 6 people, 4 people just waiting.
That's close enough.
So like, nah, B. So what we're doing is they have 2 satellite offices. So what we're doing is getting them 8 tablets. 6 are gonna go in the main office, 1 in each of the satellite offices. So in order to implement that, my boss is like, tell them to get a table, a nice size table that 3 people can sit at. We'll put 3 tablets on the table and 1 tablet at each desk of the rental agents that are in that room. I said,
Right.
cool. So I'm in their office. I'm in the manager's room. It's only 2 of them there that day. I'm talking to the one. That's my homegirl.
Right.
I'm sitting in front of her, but I'm talking to both of them. But from the other person's perspective, it might look like I'm just talking to my homegirl.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah, so we gotta get a table. And I was like, come on. One of y'all I need to come with. There's no reason for both of y'all to come with me. One of y'all I need y'all to come with me. We'll relay what we
All right,
talk
Vermin.
about to the other one. All right, Vermin. We'll relay what we talk about to the other one. Here she start. Oh no, I'm good. I don't. It's you was talking to her. I don't know. I'm not involved. All right, because I'm not playing with you. Not playing with you. Okay, fine. So we go. We talk about it. Come back. We relay what we talked about. Don't worry. I'm okay.
Don't worry. Why are you
All
worried?
right. Okay. That was Monday. I get back out there Thursday. I walk in. Again, it's just them 2. My homegirl's like, hey, come take a walk with me. I'm like, okay.
That's never a good sign.
Right. She's like, yeah. She now she wants to be involved, and she talking about we don't need to get a new table. We can use this table right here. Let me show you what this table right here looks like. Let me give you a gander as to what this table right here looks like. It might not be the easiest thing to see because I don't have it on my computer, so I'm gonna put the phone up to the camera. This is what this table right here looks like. Nah, you ain't gonna be able to get a good look. I'll give you a visual description. It is camel sand brown with darker brown swirls. It is super scratched up. There is some adhesive that is caked on. There's something green.
Oh, that's a booger.
Maybe a piece of paper. No, actually green. It's maybe a piece of paper or something. I can't get jiggy with this shit. I'm talking to my homegirl like, what the fuck was she think? Like, why?
Yeah.
I said, you know what? Don't worry about it. She's like, what? Don't worry about it.
Here comes the petty.
Pulled out my phone, took a picture, hit my boss up. Hey, she's saying that instead of getting a new table, she want to use this. So I'm still talking to my homegirl, waiting for my boss to respond. And while we're talking about it, my homegirl brings up the idea of a countertop. And I'm like, hold up, wait. That works. Because at one of the locations, that's what we did. We installed a countertop. That's what we're going to do. She said, but
she said she wanted to.
I said, that's what we're going to do.
But she said.
No. That's what we're going to do. We walked back into the office. Said, she explained it to the other manager. We're going to go ahead and go with a countertop. Finally, my boss hits me back. My boss is like, effectively, these aren't the words she said.
Right.
Effectively, she's like, what the fuck? Like, is she going to clean that? Can you send me a picture of the entire thing?
No.
I said, wait.
I think you've been having a misunderstanding. She did not intend to clean that. She meant for you
Listen,
to clean
here's
that.
the thing.
That's
I don't know why she would ever think that was going to happen. Maybe I'm not going to say it couldn't have possibly been her intention. I just don't understand. She seems to be a person that has her faculties.
But see,
I have no reason.
She didn't assume that she would be expected to. So obviously,
no, absolutely not. Absolutely, she didn't.
Deductive reasoning.
But when my boss sent that, I was like, "Don't worry about it. We're getting a countertop."
Yeah.
She said, "Good job." I'm not doing this, yo. I swear I'm not playing with them. I'm not playing with them. It's just not gonna happen. That's not. I'm not the one. I'm not the one. I had a conversation with my boss about something separate that they were being obstructionist about. And she was like, point blank, she was like, they have to get organized. I said, I know. That's what I'm attempting to help happen. She said, they will get organized. And if they don't do it themselves, we're going to do it for them, and they won't like that. I said, okay. That's all I need to hear. You ain't got to say nothing else.
Right.
I got it.
Right.
We not, like, here's my thing. I understand taking pride in your job. I get that part of it. I get that
Do you
part.
really?
But this shit ain't yours.
Yeah.
This shit ain't yours. And
That's
it's not
facts,
coming out my ass. This is coming from the downtown office. This is coming from the downtown office from vice presidents.
Yeah.
This isn't me making shit up. Maybe it might have been my idea, and I may have related to the vice president, and they agreed with it.
Right.
So that means it's coming from the vice president.
This is coming from all those vice presidents down there. Quayle, Biden.
You stupid. Shut up. So it's like, bruh, no, we not. I hear you.
But
I value your opinion.
no, see, that's the part. See, that's the cat right there.
Oh no, here's
it's a dumb opinion. You're not.
No, here's the thing. You know me. Absolutely no problem letting it be known that this is not a good idea.
It's dumb.
I have absolutely no problem.
It's
but what I'm doing is I can't say all of this. I can't say all of this on the show. What I can say is, you can't hear. Can you still hear me? Oh, you can't hear me either. God damn it, too.
all right. I had to.
Okay. No, I heard it when it came back on.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I can't say all of this on the show, so I won't. What I can say is there are things changing that are soon come. And one of those things, it would behoove one of the people in that room to modify how she's been approaching her job.
Word.
And it would lead to good things for her if she did that. And I know her personally. That's my homegirl. That's the one of the people that I go on vacations with. Like that, got love for her.
Right.
But I know her personally. She's not really. It's not really in her character to do this thing that she needs to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show her how to do it. You're going to just look at me. This how you do this.
Just watch.
You ain't got to be disrespectful. You ain't got to be none of that. But you can be assertive and show like, no, this is what needs to happen.
Facts.
So this is what's going to happen.
To happen, yeah.
Yeah, it's not. Now again, I'm not. I have to restrain myself because normally I wouldn't be as tactful,
right,
as I'm going to have to be. It's not up for debate. This is not really those are the type of words that come out of my mouth.
Right, it's not for debate.
It's not really.
This is going to happen.
Yeah, it's not suggest. But I can't. I gotta leave that stuff alone because I'm trying to show. I'm trying to give an example.
Yeah,
but
and you also
no. This is what needs to happen.
You don't want to come off rapey with the just let it happen.
No, listen to me clearly.
You don't want to do that.
I promise you, three of the 4 people in that room are women. There will never be a time where that comes out of B.
You don't want
when that comes out of my mouth, B.
You
ain't gonna happen.
Do that.
All black women too. B.
Yeah,
you're not about to hear me. You're not about to hear me.
You about to get 3D.
And all older than me.
Oh yeah, your ass.
That's not how I was raised. I was not raised to be disrespectful to older black women.
Your older aunts. Like,
bruh, no. So I'm not going to be disrespectful. The whole "this is not an option" thing, I don't view that as disrespectful, but I understand why somebody else would. So I'm not going to implement that because of the sake of my homegirl trying to like, y'all don't go that far. But still, you can be assertive and express like this is the best way. Like, no, this is the best way for it to happen.
Yeah, there is no better way than this.
I've been here forever, and this is the way we do things. Sure, that's true. It hasn't been working.
Yeah. Those
Change
those
needs
things
to come.
those things didn't work.
Facts. There were clearly issues.
So
Um,
time to try something
but-
new.
yeah, but yeah,
Respectfully.
Yo, here's the thing about that. Respectfully is so disrespectful.
Yo, it really is. And I'm tired of seeing battle rappers get away with shit when they on spaces and they doing their interviews. They say some of the most disrespectful shit and then end that shit with respectfully. I actually have a bar.
Respectfully is the new version of no disrespect.
Facts. Facts.
No
I don't mean to be
disrespect,
racist, but
right.
I'm not racist.
Respectfully is the new version of that, bro.
Yeah, yo.
So, and on top of that, even if it wasn't, I know these people will take it as such.
Yeah.
So again, I'm not gonna hit him with the respectfully either. It's not a choice. It's not right. So I'm not gonna hit him with none of that. I'm just gonna hit him with, hey, this is how it has to happen. This is the best way for it to happen. Let's try this. Let's try this. Right. So the other shit I can't really talk about on here because I don't want to.
I feel you. I feel you.
Incriminate anybody.
I feel you. You know.
Yeah, that's.
do that.
I don't have a dumbass of the week because I was entrenched in all of this shit.
Yeah, I can
Between
imagine.
that and working on the deeper dive and working on music and rearranging the studio and
It's a lot
trying
on
to
the
still
plate.
make time for the VR and
Yeah, it's a lot on the plate.
Yeah, it's a lot
on the plate.
So that was my week.
All right, so
that's how my week went.
My week.
Mind
First,
you, we have a topic.
I
We
know.
absolutely have a topic.
I know.
Okay, and I'm fairly certain you. But anyway, okay.
Mine ain't gonna be super long. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's a few things. It's a couple of things. Let's start off with my new intro.
Oh God. Oh God.
To be an asshole. To be an asshole. Got nothing to say. Get the fuck out my way. Don't know if I'll make it till tomorrow without losing all my marbles.
So the thing, right? All right. So one of the things, I'm gonna go into some of my observations after this, but one of the things that I saw this week that was absolutely hilarious is the difference between the cats in this house. So the former King T'Challa, passed away, of course, but he kept a certain level of control over the things happening in that backyard. Now, yes, he was my herald, but he still ruled the backyard.
Thanks.
Outside of big ass deer that come through there, you know what I'm saying? Or that, I swear that was a coyote that came walking through the neighbor's yard a couple years ago.
Damn coyote.
You know what I'm saying? Other than that, anything under the coyote, he was all over it. And if you worked your way into it, you might not notice the changes. They might not have been as stark or contrasty, but it was made perfectly clear yesterday, the difference in rule. So now the black cat, the annoying one, the second oldest cat in this house now, JB, he goes outside more now. It used to be a time he only went outside at night because he was scared of every goddamn thing. But he started to gain some balls, right? And he's going outside during the daytime. He doesn't go far. He stays around the house. He's not like T'Challa, because T'Challa would be all the way over on Baltimore Avenue 50 years in the past, right? That's what T'Challa would do, right? Like he had no cut cards. He was going to do what the fuck he wanted, go where the fuck he wanted to go. This is not the same type of cat with JB, but I have to admit that he has been showing a lot more. Nah, man, I'm a cat. Fuck all that. I'm at least go outside during the daytime, right? even if I'm staying in the backyard or sitting on the front porch or going back and forth. That's what I'm gonna do. But you can tell when the authoritarian king is no more about how the former subjects behave. I go outside and I hear this noise coming from the tree that's overlapping the yard. It's a very annoying branch, by the way, because every time I have to cut the grass, I gotta duck under the bitch, come do the shit. I see it shake, and I hear this noise that sounds like a bird. When I see it shake, that must be a big ass bird. JB's in the middle of the yard, right under there. He sees me come outside, turns around, puts his head down, his tail down, and slinks back to the back door for me to open the door, let him in. So I let him in. I was like, damn, that bird must, what, it was a hawk or some shit? So I walk beyond the fig tree to get a look at what was on the branch that was making it shake like that. And it was a squirrel.
Oh, man.
A squirrel on the branch talking shit.
Ran JB off his block.
Bro, he was still talking shit when I went over there.
That's funny.
And just, the fuck? And I'm like, is he cussing your ass out? You letting this vermin.
T'Challa would never.
What? I was appalled. I was like, I wonder what happened before I got out here that led to this particular dressing down.
Well, to be fair, JB merely adopted daytime outside activities. T'Challa was born
to
molded by it.
Yeah. So I sit down in my specialized Father's Day lawn chair. I'm sitting down like, damn, that's crazy. I'll get me a little bit of air right now. Watch some YouTube videos. I look down at my phone. And I look back up because I hear some noise. This time, not over there where the bush is at, where the fig tree is at, right there where the concrete, our sidewalk part of the backyard is. And what do I see? A squirrel. Probably that same motherfucker in the fig tree eating figs. I did not know that was a thing.
Right.
I did not know.
No, as this says, if it eats figs.
Yo, he was fucking that fig up. And then it came. Hey, mind you, jumping from branch to branch. Grab one. Fuck out of here. Go to another branch. Fuck out. That's the one right. And I say, it suddenly starts to hit me. I think I know what happened. That squirrel could not get over to that fig tree while that fat black cat was sitting there in the middle. So he was telling him, get the hell out of the way so I can get over and get some figs.
Here's the thing. As much as he was running his mouth, he still realized.
No, yeah. I mean, that's still a fat black cat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, the weight difference alone, dude.
Bruh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not.
The squabbles ain't
I mean, he was talking shit, but
right.
He didn't really want no physical smoke.
Right.
But he didn't need to want it if all it's going to take is a couple of those and run his ass up off of there. Joe said, I had a similar change after Blitzen and Molly died. Now Flash is the oldest, and he stepped up and guides the two new ones. He used to be a follower, but now he's a leader. Yo,
that's so crazy how that happens.
Yo, exactly, because somebody had to pick up the slack, right?
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, JP's not really doing.
How's the baby doing?
See, Maya doesn't go outside. She went outside one time and they had to chase her ass down the street. She on other people's porches and all that shit. The same little bullshit T'Challa used to do before I got him tamed, right? And then this is the part that pissed me off. We call her, she'll come just close enough to talk shit to you.
That's funny.
And then the one you grab, nope. We finally got her cornered on the goddamn porch, man. Millie got her corner on the porch. I said, you will never. in the rock means ever come back outside again with your monkey ass.
Oh God, never, yo.
Yo, listen, I don't think you understand. Never.
Okay.
Of course, I lied because my mother-in-law went out the back door when she didn't quite close it. Maya got out, but she got snatched and gaffled. You know what I'm saying? Before she got far. Nah, take your ass back in the house. Now, fortunately, she's not like the way T'Challa was, because T'Challa was so on the outside, that we didn't really get to see his true personality because he was so focused on outside. I go outside. So I did my due diligence with him and would give him an hour or two outside the backyard and then make his ass go back in the house, right? Until he got acclimated. And then one day I gave him the keys. It's like, all right.
Right.
And I was like, if you don't come back, fuck, we gonna do like,
right.
He came back. He left, came back, tail high. Like, I'm back. I know where I live. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But that is that for the backyard politics. I will keep you all informed of whether or not JB, even in his advanced age, grows a spine and stands up to these critters who are encroaching on our shit. McKenna says, squirrels in my yard have to be very careful. Instead of a fat cat, I have a 68-pound and very fast dog. See?
Yo.
I'm just saying, I like it when they have to be careful. I like it when they have to consider.
Sure.
There's a risk to this. You can't just come up in here and dig in my goddamn trash cans and all that other shit. No. We ain't had, when T'Challa start ruling the outside, no more squirrels in our trash cans. No more squirrels in the trash cans. That was it for that. They wouldn't even come in our yard. But it's a new regime.
Clearly.
It is what it is. I don't know. So the other thing I want to roll into really, really quickly. Give me a second. We have 3 days. What up, DJ? We have 3 days left for the very first Majestic Comics Kickstarter campaign. As far as I'm concerned, it's been a great success.
Yeah, stop it.
It really has.
Stop it. It's not even up for debate. Literally, the goal was smashed through.
The goal was smashed. It was really smashed.
Yeah, come on.
And this crazy thing is, when I first looked at this morning, it was at 4,600 and something, and now, as you can see, it's at 4,713. 3 days to go.
Yesterday was payday, my guy.
Facts. 3 days to go. Exactly, Joe. Almost 3 times to go. It's awesome, and now I am personally looking forward to mailing out these damn books. We are currently about to we started the compiling of the extended versions, right? So that's going to be dope. That's going to be dope. I'm looking forward to you guys getting the book, having the books. Please take care of them. You know what I'm saying? Because then after this, those that didn't get it from the Kickstarter, what we have left will go into our store.
Right.
Also, I found a distributor, a digital distributor called Global Comics. It's looking like that's going to be the one, since Comixology needs to really be overhauled thanks to Amazon. It looks like that's the one that we're going to, one of the ones that we're going to warehouse the digital version. Not because we're also going to do
crazy, because you would think if anybody would get books, right?
Yeah,
it's like 2 companies.
But
like
you know what? You know why they fucked
that
that up? They fucked that up because they tried to bring it in line with those other books. But the thing is, those books are mostly text.
Yeah.
Comic books have artwork, so it needs to be presented in a certain type of way, and they try to
Right.
homogenize that shit, and it's not turning out good. Now, it's been a while since I checked to see if they actually went in and did some overhauls because of all the complaints and the goddamn videos that was done about how they fucked it up. But I will go and check that. But in the meantime, it's looking like Global Comics is going to be. So we're going to basically be at least starting out after the Kickstarter campaign is over. We'll have the PDF in Shopify along with whatever physicals are left. We're not going to put none of the physicals in there until everyone gets who actually backed it and are getting that so they get their shit, right? And then whatever's left will go in the Shopify store, and we're also going to have the PDF in the Shopify as well as the Global Comics thing. That's what it looks like it's going to be right now. So I'm super excited about all of that shit. And once again, thank everybody that contributed, that backed, and just overall, from the time we really decided to start doing the business part of this, the audience that we have cultivated since 2011 or whatever, they really came through, and we really appreciate that, and cannot wait for everybody to get their books. Cannot wait for everybody to get their damn books. It's amazing. Another observation I had this week. So remember last week when I said, whatever happens after Roe versus Wade, please understand, it's not stopping.
Right.
That's the precursor, right? This country apparently is going back to its factory default settings. All right? That's not going to really work out well for a lot of people. It's just not. It's a small segment of people that's going to be really happy about that. Vast majority of people are not going to be happy about it. And to that point, when I said they wasn't going to stop, they haven't stopped. They on some Diddy shit. Can't stop, won't stop.
Okay.
So we of course we heard about the Second Amendment thing they did with the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin, where they, after more than a decade, right, they have completely stepped on New York's a policy about the right to carry outside the home for self-defense thing there. See, the thing people need to understand is you could be for guns, you could be a gun person, but every area is going to have different concerns.
Yep.
A city the size of New York, congestion, the character of New York itself, that's not going to bode well.
No,
and anybody thinking that it is, you watch too many action films.
Wild Wild East.
Like, what's been said is it's only a matter of time because it puts risk to similar laws in Maryland, California, New Jersey, Hawaii, and Massachusetts. Now, I don't know about all these other places, but Maryland, the two major cities in this area is Baltimore and DC. Okay. Okay.
Here's another thing. That I don't hear it said a lot, and you saying what you just said made me realize. Well, not realize it. I probably had it somewhere in the back of my head, but maybe think about it. This is another poor tax.
Yes, it is.
Because guns aren't cheap.
No.
The
not
argument can't be made that everybody can just get
can afford to get a legal gun. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Guns are expensive. Guns are expensive. So the idea that if everyone's carrying one, everyone will be protected. Everyone won't be carrying one.
Right.
Everyone won't be. So even if that was true, I would just simply tell you, as somebody that worked in the industry, I am not against firearms at all. But I got to tell you, I don't believe that's true. I think that's cat. I think it's cap. Because God damn it, I know y'all.
Right.
I know y'all. These illusions and deluded thinking about what humans are actually capable of gets us in trouble all the fucking time.
It's a broken record.
I've been there pick a random day in the summer and seeing people out there fighting their ass off. Now imagine them when they had guns on them. You know what I'm saying? Who you think you talking to? I remember watching some drunk guy chase his girlfriend inside my neighbor's house and then get his ass beat the fuck up by the guy in the house. Broke his nose, fucked them all up. Now take that same scenario. This is a random day in Emerson Village when I was growing up.
Right.
Take that situation and put guns in it. In these row houses. Like, but I hear you. Y'all gonna do what you want to do.
Lead to more people dead and more people potentially in prison.
Yeah.
We don't have a self-defense law here.
Yeah. I think too many of these things predicate on the best possible outcome instead of what we know in reality.
Bruh. And that's why I keep saying that when I look at problems, I do not deal in ideals.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't actually help solve
It doesn't.
the problem.
It really, bro. It doesn't, because we know the reality on the ground, B.
Yep.
How? Okay. Hey, this is your
down,
place.
Trickle down economics. Yeah, in theory.
Yeah. Until you start dealing with the X factor that is human greed, human arrogance, egotistic. Like it's.
Human ignorance.
But again, all right. The favor I'm asking of you, and I know you're gonna ignore that completely, is hold this shit together for another 5 years, so I can get my peoples the fuck up out of here. Do what y'all. I just hold it together. Let's not go complete Terminator 2. Like, hold it together. 5 more years. Give me 5 years of the debate, of it's just words going back and forth before y'all really start with the bullet holes and blood stains.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I can get my folks out of here.
It's streaming now.
We are streaming now
on all digital platforms.
All digital platforms.
Look for it. Just go look for it.
Yeah, go find that. So that's not all either. They just rolled back the EPA's ability to reduce the carbon output of existing power plants, and it's like, so what?
Literally in the name.
So what we
environmental protection. Okay.
So what we have here for the last how many years has been this conversation about, hey, yo, the reason we have these more extreme weather is because of this. And we have the data to show this shit here is because of this. Earth's climate was going to change. It's already changed numerous times before, but we are exacerbating and speeding up the process. We've already had that conversation. And yes, there are still people that are attempting to grab one scientist over here or another scientist over there.
Are you pointing to
against 90? Yes, against 90% of the other climate science, and you're trying to take and hold on to that, so you don't seem like you're using another metric other than science to determine why you don't agree with that. We've already seen the extreme weather.
It's another pitfall of exceptionalism.
It is.
The idea that this one scientist he must be better than all the rest.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He's an exceptional. Yeah. Cut that shit out.
Cut it out, B. Like, they all working with the same data, and it's built on consensus in the sense of they all have the same data, and they're all doing these peer-reviewed shits, and they're going, I'm getting the same result, B. I'm getting the same result. But that's fine. Y'all gonna do what you want to do. you've chosen, because elections do have consequences. Even when they fuck the election process up, they have consequences, right? But we've already seen the extreme weather. Go California. You see all them brush fires. Satellite footage can look at the Arctic shelf and see that it's heavily reduced. But all right, y'all. All right, okay. Now, the next thing they did, the COVID vaccine mandates. The court blocked the Biden administration's vaccination or testing requirement for the nation's largest employers. So now we saw this coming though, with the way y'all reacted to wearing masks. We saw it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We saw it. The way y'all reacted to vaccines in general, we saw that shift take place where y'all became anti-vaxxers all of a sudden while saying you weren't. Now, the one thing they did do, the last thing I'm going to bring up, because people will say that I'm not being fair by looking at just these cases and not the cases where they sided with Biden. Okay? Biden administration, according to the Supreme Court, has the authority to reverse a Trump-era policy that requires asylum seekers to remain in Mexico while their cases are reviewed in U.S. courts. And I know many people are going to say, see, they're being fair. But see, I see something else with that. It's no big secret that big businesses have zero problem with these immigration issues that a lot of people on the right are going off about. They have no issues with that. They like having immigrants come over here in vast numbers so they can get them in certain industries where they don't have to pay them a lot of money to work. And they'll bust their ass because where they come from, this is a come up. That's a come up. So even with that, I wouldn't be tooting that horn too much. It ain't over, folks. It ain't over. And the only thing I am holding on to is give me 5 years for me and my folks to work our plans. You know what I'm saying? It was 5 years, or our pre-plans, whatever the fuck going on over there with SBJ. Give us 5 years and we'll be out of your hair. And after that 5 period, I'm going to stay in contact with my folks over here. Got a lot of people over here that I love and care about. You know what I'm saying? But we got we got to bounce. We got to bounce. We have to bounce. We just have to. And finally,
no intentions on yeah.
Nah, I'm good on that. Finally, I saw a post today on Facebook.
You saw nothing.
Shut up. With a person asked about how should he go about copywriting his comic books. I saw a lot of advice there. And what became apparent to me is that even in this industry, just like in music, there's a lot of bad advice out there when it comes to the copyright shit. Yeah, a lot of really shitty advice. So I decided to end this being helpful. To end my partners being helpful. What I would advise you to do, seriously, and put it in there as one of the startup expenses, is to go get a lawyer. Because navigating these laws can be tricky as fuck. Just like in music. For a lot of years, people were saying to me and my other music cohorts, all you got to do is just put a copy of your music on a CD or back in the day cassette tape and mail it back to yourself and don't open it. And that postal thing on there is a copyright. Bullshit. That's bullshit. It's not that easy. It's really not. As a matter of fact, people that have official copyrights can come into question
Yeah.
about whether or not they own it, because it is very possible for someone to have not went through the process to get their shit trademark copywritten, or get someone else, but they'll go, like, somebody else will go and do that shit before they do. And even though they didn't create it themselves, they have the copyright, they have the trademark. So you got to fight that. You got to be able to prove that, no, I had this file or whatever. Look at the date, timestamp on here. It's a lot of shit you got to do. It's not just the open and shut case, and the lawyer will tell you that. The way a lot of these laws work, they're in legal speak.
Yeah.
Most of us don't speak all of that shit.
Yeah.
Take the time to invest the money and put it into your startup costs to get an attorney to go through the process with you and for you. All right? And give them what they ask for, the information they need, and they'll go and file it. They'll make sure that shit is right. Because if you fuck up that filing, that could be the difference between somebody else being able to own your shit or use your shit and you not having anything. You can't do shit about it. Get an attorney. It's going to cost you some bread, but most business startups cost you bread. So factor that shit in and just do that, because the weight that was lifted off of my shoulder, I'm telling y'all, that was one of the first things I was super concerned about. I was like, yo, we gotta be able to protect our IP. We gotta be able to protect our IP. And the not having knowledge of how that worked in that industry compounded the stress. Also, the potential cost and how we was going to foot that bill. Thanks to our supporters, we was able to do that shit. I know for other people it might be a little bit more difficult, but I'm telling you, it's worth waiting until you are in a position to do that. It's before you like put your shit out there on these digital streets for a motherfucker to be able to, ooh, that's nice. I'm gonna try my hand. Not a lot of people read this book, so no one will really know. That you know what I'm saying? That sort of shit. Go get a lawyer. Go get a lawyer. You can find some deals out here with some of these guys. You can find some deals, but find somebody that know how to read that shit, knows what that shit means, and those terms that are being used. Please, for the sake of your IP. And that, sir.
Like to befriend a lawyer.
Well,
like, hey, buddy,
we got you. We got you. When you ready, we got you. You know what I'm saying? We got you. No, you're the battery. You're ever ready.
Okay.
But yeah, that's been my week. So I know you're about to go do something. You're about to go into the actual topic. But before you do, I need you to hold on for 1 second.
Yo,
shut up.
It is very inconvenient, and he does this shit all the time. And I don't understand why he does it the way that he does it. He will literally conclude the conversation that we're having and then be like, I'll be back. In a position like this, when the literal next thing I'm talking about, I need him here to talk about it. So inconvenient. That's the only thing that he does that I can legitimately say is extremely inconsiderate as a co-host of a goddamn podcast. Now we got the people here, and you done talked about the thing that you talked about and concluded, and you're like, oh, I'll be back. The fuck am I supposed to, how y'all doing? How y'all day going? Outside of being here listening to us idiots ramble on. I can tell y'all this next topic is something I don't know how I felt as far as whether it would ever happen or how it would happen if it did. I gotta say, I think they may have gotten this right, but I purposely haven't looked into the details yet because I wanted to be informed live with you guys and give my genuine reaction to them as they're happening, which is actually one of the things that we do. Like, I tend to not give this motherfucker the topics that we talk about before we talk about them, because as research heavy as we both are, I know that he'll look into it, and I'd rather have his genuine reaction to these things. So, yeah, even though we talk every single day, we tend to not talk about what's happening on the show. Just for that authenticity for your guys' benefit. Shut up. All right, so we have a topic, and the subject of this topic is Robert.
Robert.
Yes. So, R. Kelly is sentenced to 30 years for scheme to lure children into sex.
The Pied Piper.
The R&B singer, 55, is likely to spend much of the rest of his life in prison after being convicted of years of psychological and sexual abuse. 31 years ago, R. Kelly, a budding R&B artist from Chicago.
Cindy said he's back. Stop talking about He won't be back for long.
From Chicago in his mid-20s, was signed to his first major record label. Around the same time, he began having sex with a 15-year-old girl, according to her subsequent lawsuit. The accusations mounted over the decades. They grew increasingly heinous. They spilled into public view. Still, the singer, who became a superstar, leaned on his fame to mask the predator under the persona.
Ho. He didn't just lean on his fame. He leaned on scores of people that was willing to overlook that shit.
Oh, absolutely.
Because narrative myth crafting is a thing here. And motherfuckers, as long as they felt like they had some excuse, they could blame the girls, they could say, oh, well, they could do the whataboutism by other people, all that.
Yo, that happened with this. That happened with this. I'm gonna try to get that in. Yeah, that happened with this. Cindy said a bullet is cheaper. Yeah, but it's more humane. I much prefer.
No, I'm with you there.
I much prefer this version of justice.
Well, it is cheaper, but he'll go night and it's over. Like nah.
Nah. Used his lean on his fame to mask the predator under the person and to shield himself from consequences. On Wednesday, Mr. Kelly, 55, could no longer escape the fallout. He was sentenced to 30 years in prison for racketeering and sex trafficking. As the judge read out his term, he did not react. And outside, his victims expressed deep relief at the decision. The sentencing that followed, a September conviction, culminated from Mr. Kelly's staggering downfall. From a chart-topping hitmaker known as the King of R&B to a pariah whose musical legacy has become inextricable from his abuses. His trial exposed harrowing and systematic torment directed by the musician and enabled by those in his orbit.
And outside his orbit.
Well, sure.
I'm going to tell you something, bro. I really want to know, at a certain point, we're talking about self-awareness here, right? If you find yourself always on the side of these type of motherfuckers, you always running defense for these type of motherfuckers, you need to start looking at yourself, or should I say, we
get from
need to start looking at you.
Yeah, that's it. No, just get from around me. It's cool. U.S. District Judge Ann M. Donnelly, who presided over the federal trial in Brooklyn, said in court that few crimes more serious than Mr. Kelly's exist, and that he had manipulated girls and women. You taught them that love is enslavement and violence, the judge said, recalling the scenarios he created to wreak primal humiliation on them. This case is not about sex. It's about violence and cruelty and power and control. You had a system in place that lured young people into your orbit, and then you took over their lives. Mr. Kelly's lawyer, Jennifer Bonjean, said outside the courthouse that she would appeal the sentence. She had sought 10 years. Mr. Kelly was prepared for prison, she said, but has regrets and is sad. What? Anyway, Mr. Kelly was among the most successful American musicians of the 1990s and 2000s. And chart-topping hits like I Believe I Can Fly and Ignition Remix catapulted him to some of the world's largest stages. But as the entertainer, whose full name is Robert Sylvester Kelly, crafted an image as a sex symbol, he exploited access to young fans and aspiring musicians to fulfill his desires, the government said. For an hour in court on Wednesday, 7 women and one of their fathers delivered wrenching accounts describing the devastation of their sense of self-worth and how the trauma continues to touch every facet of their lives. One woman, known in court only by the pseudonym Jane Doe, number 2, said she had sex with the entertainer in 1999 when she was 17, and said she still often finds herself sobbing uncontrollably at random times of the day. I was a teenager and you were a pedophile, ready to ruin another young lady's life. You made me do things that broke me. I literally wished that I could die because of how you made me feel. She had first encountered Mr. Kelly with the hopes of helping a friend land an audition, she said, but the singer coerced her into sex. The courtroom grew tense at one point as Mr. Kelly and his lawyer whispered at their table. I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt his conversation, she said, pausing until the room returned to silence. I don't know if I'll ever be whole. What you did has left a permanent stain on my life that I will never be able to wash away. I'm sure you never think about that. After the women told their stories, Mr. Kelly declined to speak. He still faces an August 15 trial in Chicago on federal charges for producing child pornography and luring minors into sex acts, which his lawyer said prompted the decision. The facade that federal prosecutors said long protected the singer began to crumble in the late 2010s after years of inaction, despite whispers of his abuse throughout the music industry.
Whispers.
The explosion of the Me Too movement had coincided with a protest campaign against his music, a troubling Lifetime documentary on his treatment of women, and the new accusations of accusers and their families. This time, the scrutiny was too much to evade. On Wednesday, the women in court said that the moment was a long-awaited catharsis. We reclaim our names from beneath the shadow of your inflicted trauma. We are no longer the preyed upon of individuals we once were. We will be able to live again. Ms. Baldwin argued in court that the government's portrayal of Mr. Kelly as one-dimensional predator and evil monster was misguided, and that he endured childhood challenges, including his own sexual abuse. That's public knowledge at this point. That's public knowledge. You ain't got to bring that up. Everybody knows that. It's not an excuse.
It's over, B. It's not an excuse.
Yeah,
it's over.
We saw the TV show. We saw it.
Can I say for the record, all of us have trauma.
Bruh.
This is not to belittle what happened to him.
Not at all.
But
because
all of
they
us
were
have
wrong
trauma.
for that shit, and they should have experienced their own consequences.
Yes, but to say that he had trauma as if it singles him out from the rest of humanity with trauma. All of us don't do what you did, B.
Right.
Let me tell you, look, my biological father was abusive as fuck. To my moms, to his kids. Abusive and neglectful. And that traumatized the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Not even gonna hold you. But I didn't grow up to do what he did. So we not doing that. We not doing that.
Just starting around the age of 6, she said the singer was molested. Sometimes on a weekly basis, Ms. Bonjean said it was not an excuse but a consideration. Indeed, the judge considered copious trial evidence in her decision. The government called 45 witnesses, including 11 victims, who painstakingly recounted Mr. Kelly's brutality. Jurors were also confronted with hours of jarring audio and video recordings, including one in which, at the singer's behest, a woman sullied herself with her own waist. Other accounts were similarly disquieting. One of 2 men who testified that they were sexually abused by Mr. Kelly recalled a moment when he was at the singer's home gym in Illinois. Mr. Kelly snapped his fingers twice. He said, and a young lady crawled out from under a boxing ring.
No, yo.
And the young lady crawled out from under a boxing ring to perform sex acts on them.
No, yo. No.
I will never forget that, Judge Donnelly said of the story. She added that she was baffled by the hundreds of enablers who surrounded the singer.
Try the millions of enablers outside of that.
Yeah, but there's a distinction here. They're copious, but there's a distinction here. She's talking about literally the motherfuckers that was there with him. Like, hey, yeah, go ahead, do this. Fuck you mean?
I'm throwing all these crabs in the same pot. Fuck them.
No, look, I'm boiling one. I'm using my seasoned salt. I'm throwing in the potatoes. I'm throwing in the Old Bay. The other one just gets the water, just the hot ass. Yeah, I'm putting them in two different pots. They all going down, but one of them you can get some spice. You can get some spices, you can get some seasonings, you can get you can get some things to keep you company, some things that you can even eat on for the little time that you got left to live. You go the rest of you? No, y'all going straight in that pot.
Oh,
that pot. One at a time. You did yet? Oh, all right, next one.
Only someone that cooks. Yo, that was a crazy round. Yo, that was a crazy round.
So, the case, like other high-profile Me Too era prosecutions, illustrated how powerful people in a fame-besotted age can skirt consequences, even as accusations of sexual misconduct persist for decades. Many people were familiar with similar allegations about Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein and Bill Cosby, the comedian. The race of Mr. Kelly's accusers also may have been consequential. Black women have historically been more likely than white women to have abuse accusations distrusted or dismissed. There wasn't a day in my life up until this moment that I actually believed that the judicial system would come through for black and brown girls, Javante said outside of the courthouse. I stand here very proud. Proud isn't the word that I would use. Vindicated, maybe.
Yeah, I would use vindicated.
For Mr. Kelly, questions about his encounters with women burst into the public after Vibe magazine reported on his illegal marriage in 1994 to R&B star Aaliyah when she was 15 and he was 27. 6 years later, the Chicago Sun-Times published an investigation into accusations that the singer was having sex with underage girls. Through it all, Mr. Kelly's stardom remained intact. Even during a criminal trial in 2008 that centered on an infamous 27-minute tape that appeared to show him having sex with an underage girl, he was acquitted on all counts after the girl declined to testify. The singer performed at the opening ceremony of the 2002 Winter Olympics on the same day Chicago police revealed they were investigating him. Hours after the singer pleaded not guilty to the charges that led to his 2008 trial, he sang alongside children at a church in Chicago.
I am disgusted.
Through the mid-2010s, he headlined major music festivals while collaborating with stars from Lady Gaga and Justin Bieber to Jennifer Hudson and Chance the Rapper. And as Mr. Kelly continues to retain a sizable base of support, one victim's father, who gave his name as Charles in court on Wednesday, detailed the threats and intense harassment his family has endured. I do want to ask you, Mr. Kelly, to look at me and just think what I might be feeling. Put yourself in my shoes. We're suffering because so many people love you that they hate us.
That's a bar.
Charles told the singer that he did not harbor ill will toward him and encouraged him to seek forgiveness. But for him to forgive you, you have to admit what you've done, so it's up to you. The singer's gaze remained fixed on the table in front of him and never met the man's eyes.
And guess what? They wouldn't have mattered if they did.
No, dude. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
So
Robert.
There's more Robert. There's more. How R. Kelly's 30-year prison sentence? How will R. Kelly's 30-year prison sentence impact his other trials? R. Kelly could be in his 80s before the singer is free again. based on a 30-year prison term imposed this week by a New York federal judge for parlaying his fame to sexually abuse young fans, including some who were children. And if the 55-year-old loses at 3 related trials in the coming months, he could be staring at decades more behind bars. That
That's life.
prospect, said one of his lawyers, not involved in the New York trial, could lead Kelly to pursue a plea deal. Here's a look at the potential impact of Kelly's lengthy prison term in New York on those other cases. What's the status
A plea
of the
deal?
cases?
What would he be playing?
That's a good
What
question.
would he be playing?
That's
Who he giving up?
really good question.
Who he giving up?
That's a really good question. A federal trial in Chicago is slated to begin next on August 15th. Chicago is Kelly's hometown and where many of his accusers live. So interest is expected to be especially tense. Kelly faces charges that he and 2 co-defendants fixed his state child pornography trial in 2008 when he was acquitted. That they fixed the situation. That they set it up so that she would not, you get it. The 2 other cases are state cases. A multiple count sex abuse case in Cook County, Illinois, where Chicago is located, and a solicitation case in Hennepin County, Minnesota. Both have been on back burners while the federal cases play out. No trial dates are set for either. What are the chances R. Kelly pursues a plea deal? The chances are greater after the sentence handed down in New York, says Steve Greenberg, a longtime Kelly lawyer who represents the former R&B star in the Cook County case. I suspect there have been discussions between Kelly's federal trial team, lawyers, and prosecutors, Greenberg said. A message seeking comment from Kelly's lead attorney in his federal cases, Jennifer Bonjean, was not immediately returned. She said earlier that Kelly would appeal his New York convictions. Kelly must weigh the likelihood of winning the Chicago federal case against agreeing to a deal that includes more prison time, Greenberg said. But Greenberg believes the cases against Kelly in Cook County and in Minnesota are far weaker and that Kelly could secure acquittals in those state courts. Would another sentence be added to the New York sentence? If Kelly is convicted in U.S. District Court in Chicago, his judge could order that Kelly serve that sentence after his New York sentence is complete.
Wow.
Because there's no tie to the other case.
Right.
Turner said he expected prosecutors would ask for such a consecutive sentence, but that a judge
That's
would
what Joe
most
just
likely-
said.
But that a judge would most likely impose a concurrent sentence.
Yeah, that's what Joe was talking about.
Most prosecutors be open to a plea deal? They could be if Kelly agrees to take responsibility for the crimes charged. Kelly's attorneys likely would not agree to anything that involves the possibility of extending the 30-year sentence and would only sign a deal that foresees sentences lower than 30 years. They
Probably.
would also want assurances prosecutors won't press for consecutive sentences. Turner said, I got a question. Why, at this point, given how high profile it is, would there really be an incentive to not go through with the trial for the courts and for the prosecutors?
An incentive to do so?
It's a
Or to
high
not do
profile
so?
case. Yeah, it's a high profile
Everybody
case.
knows
R.
this case.
Kelly. Right. So
Everybody knows this
wouldn't
case.
you want to be known as one of the people that helped put R. Kelly away?
Yeah.
So I don't
Yeah.
really see the incentive to
I don't either. I
avoid
think
trial.
I think at a certain point, see, this is the way it gets kind of. Lawyers be about that money, B.
Facts. All facts.
You know what I'm saying? And I'll be wondering sometimes when they be doing shit like this, is it just to boost up their pay thing? Because
Yeah, because my original question was, why would you even take this case over?
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You know
the-
it's a lose-lose case,
yeah, bro.
but it boosts your profile.
It boosts your profile, and on top of that, if the client has money, even though he was
Apparently, he
near
doesn't
broke and
have money.
shit.
So how does that work?
well, it could be. We don't know who was funding his
Okay.
his defense. Somebody else could have been funded for all we know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, if that's the case, if Moneybag Joe over there funding it, the lawyers say we did everything we possibly could do, and part of that is the appeal process. Pay us our money.
Yeah.
Because they start now. If I was funding it, I wouldn't pay. The pay would stop right there.
Yeah.
But if they do the appeal, and you know how long that appeal process is,
Bruh.
yeah, they're gonna be filing reports and all this other shit, paperwork and all
Those
this.
are all billable hours.
Those are all billable hours, B. And I'm very cynical when it comes to attorneys in general.
Sure.
Because to me, they're the new priesthood in a society that is litigious as fuck, right? So a lot of lawyers in my mind are grifters. I'm sure I wouldn't say the majority of them because I don't know the majority of them, but
Sure.
I would say a fair amount of them are grifters. Fucking ambulance chasing ass niggas.
Yo, funny thing about that is I'm currently watching Better Call Saul.
Yeah. Like I know a couple of lawyers, but I only know one lawyer personally. Mm-hmm. And coincidentally, this is the same attorney who is the only politician I know personally.
Right.
I can quasi speak for her integrity.
Yeah.
She has integrity.
Right.
She jumped into this not just for the money, but because she had principles that she, even though her and I disagreed on a lot of what those things, the worth of a lot of those things in reality,
right.
She believed in it.
Yeah.
She believes in it. And she believes in public service. I know that because I've known her since she was in law school. That's her. The rest of the motherfuckers, I can't speak for them. So I don't be trusting them. Like when she ran and became mayor, couldn't nobody tell me anything bad about her because I know her.
Yeah.
So I know she went and all the stuff that she did to improve that city. That's from that. That came from that because I know her. Them other
that, you know what really be fucking me up? Conjugation of the word plea.
Right?
That be fucking me up
right
big time, my guy. Pleading, pled, what, plead, what, huh? What, which is what and where is what? Who, why is how?
It's English, my dude.
Bruh, English is stupid as fuck. But anyway, could the prosecutors simply decide to drop the other cases? Chances of that seem slim. Turner said the typical mindset in U.S. attorneys' offices is to remain persistent and aggressive. That attitude has been particularly pronounced when it comes to Kelly. They want this guy badly, Turner said. U.S. attorneys' offices also effectively have unlimited resources. So the cost and time needed for a trial won't dissuade. That's my point. That's exactly my point. Like, it shouldn't matter. Like, that. They want this on their agenda.
They want it.
Why would they? But anyway, Turner thought it was more likely that the state cases could be dropped, especially if Kelly is convicted in federal court and receives additional receives additional prison time. Their resources are much more limited. They would be spending money they don't have. They have murders and serious crimes to prosecute. All right, buddy.
This is serious.
I want to be clear. That was his quote.
Yeah, yo. This is serious.
I need to be very clear. Those are not the thoughts and opinions
of Black Culture Geeks and its affiliates.
Yeah, nah, B. This is a quote. He said they have murders and other serious crimes to prosecute. They may ask, why spend money and time on Kelly when he is already facing decades behind bars? What else drives decisions to push ahead with other trials? The possibility that the New York convictions could be overturned is one factor. Kelly could go free immediately if state prosecutors and federal prosecutors in Chicago choose to drop their cases and the New York convictions were overturned. Prosecutors in the different districts may all see winning convictions and sentences as insurance that Kelly was.
That he goes to jail.
Even if an appeals court ends up tossing some convictions. Is there any reason for Kelly to plead guilty with no deal? Pleading guilty to the remaining charges would mean no more trials. It would lower Kelly's legal bills, which at times he has struggled to pay. but Kelly would have no assurance that prosecutors wouldn't seek the toughest possible sentences.
Damn right.
Still, he could hold out hope that by pleading guilty and accepting responsibility, judges would be more inclined to hand him sentences on the lower end of the guidelines. Here's the thing about that last part. I'm not sure. Clearly, I don't know. But I'm not sure that any judge that's been paying attention to any of this would feel like he was taking accountability even if he pled guilty, given his behavior throughout the rest of this process.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
what? Now, I'm well aware of what has been happening. Like, nah.
Yeah.
Man, that's not. All right, so.
But you gotta remember, yo, it's a bunch of the judges in this system now are kind of crazy.
Well, sure.
They are. So we'll just have to see. We have to see. But to me, that is good news. This was supposed to happen a long ass time ago.
Right.
You motherfuckers gave him a chance to violate more people in that time when motherfuckers was playing semantic games and exposing their hatred of women in these conversations across the country about this situation. Motherfucker, oh yeah, you was exposing yourself. And please don't tell me that because you're married, that means you don't hate women. There's plenty of married men that hate women.
Bro.
Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Some of y'all motherfuckers was ODing. Some of y'all motherfuckers was taking out whatever issues you had personally in your personal romantic lives with women on these women who you don't know at all by saying they lying or they wanted it or they all that bullshit that y'all do that cause a lot of women not to come out and tell and say anything because they don't want to go through that bullshit. All that bullshit you contribute to. See, here's the thing. You're not the good guy in this.
Bruh.
You're not the good guy in this.
Anything ranging from fear of consequences to thinking that no one would care enough to do anything. Anything in between?
Yeah, yo.
Yeah.
You're not the good guy in this. Now, y'all have to run around this. See, this pisses me off about you motherfuckers. Y'all sit there and watch fiction. And in fiction, many times, the way they structure it, there's the antagonist, and then there's the protagonist, which is the hero. But it's not always that case. Sometimes the protagonist is not necessarily the hero.
Protagonist can absolutely be a villain.
Exactly. But in this particular case that I'm speaking of,
but
a lot of y'all see this.
The normality of it is
exactly.
Antagonist good, protagonist. I mean,
y'all,
antagonist bad.
Antagonist bad, protagonist good.
Yeah.
Y'all sit there and watch this shit and really feel for the victim. Really feel for the victim and all that talk, all this shit about, hey man, he did that. But in these real life circumstances, I be seeing y'all. I be seeing your behavior. I be seeing these little takes, these little funky ass takes y'all putting on social media, basically outing yourselves. Because I've told y'all before, I'm starting to look at a lot of these people differently after a lot of these cases now, where it's you're not defending Robert, you're not defending Bill, you're defending yourself.
Yeah, you can't convince me otherwise at this point. Now, you spoke about whataboutism. I saw some shit. I can't find it right now. I saw some shit. What's the name of that woman who was an accomplice to the dude that was in jail? He killed himself.
What's her fucking name?
What's her?
Yeah, it is. Gave her 20, right?
Yeah, something.
Let's do 20 her way.
Something like that. Yeah, 20. I saw so many people. Why R. Kelly getting 30 years and she only got 20 and blah blah. So, for the simple-minded of you that can't understand context,
that's it, Joe. That's it. Thank you.
I'm not even about to say her name. Fuck her.
Fuck her.
But for y'all that don't understand context, number one, I don't even know if there's an order to the things I'm about to say, but the first thing I'm saying is he was the person committing the crimes. He was the ringleader of the situation. She was an accomplice.
Right.
That's one thing. Another thing is different judges rule different ways.
Yeah.
So even if you take the magnitude of their crimes
Right.
out of the equation. You
Right.
still have the subjectivity part of it. That is a person that is deciding your sentence.
Absolutely.
Third of all, stop it. Just stop it. Why? The man belongs behind bars. How long he got effectively doesn't matter.
Let me tell you
here's
something,
why.
bro.
He's been doing this for at least the 30 years that they're talking
Come
about.
on, man. Come on, man.
Giving him
Come on, man.
for these crimes. I don't understand.
Come on, man.
I just
What are you
don't-
arguing? What are you arguing for?
What is your
He
argument?
should get
Right.
less time.
Right. Like,
He should get- what are you arguing for?
I don't get it.
And would you be arguing that if this was one of your kids or your sister? See that's why I said, yo, a lot of these fans have lost their ever loving minds
Bruh.
in that cult mentality. Yo, I get it. You see somebody that's extremely talented, and it's wondrous to you. You say, how could he do that? It's amazing the things he can do. And you try to apply that to other shit where it shouldn't be. Just because that motherfucker can write and can sing does not mean he's a great person.
Point of order, sir. He can't read or write.
Oh, damn.
He
Well,
can-
this because he can freestyle
Right.
and sing.
He can construct songs.
Yeah, just because he can do that does not make him a great person. And you must apply how wondrous his talent is to how wonderful he lives life. Fuck out of here.
Also, yes, I was just about to say that, Joe. You fucking no-teps. Get the fuck out of... Listen,
Please, dude.
Listen,
Please,
there
dude.
are very many of things in this country that is set up to hold back, disenfranchise,
Facts.
otherwise lead astray
Facts.
the black person and
Facts.
the black man.
Say it.
Absolutely.
Talk
we live
to
here.
him.
We get it. We understand. This is not one of them.
No.
She happens to be a white woman. Okay, fine. But no, that is not what this is.
Let me explain something to them. To these dick eating. They think they saying something.
Bruh.
They think they saying something, but you're not. Because what you're basically doing is while you're saying, oh, they gave the white woman less time and they gave the black man more time, you are disregarding the black women that were injured
Right.
in this situation. You are lessening or undermining their pain, their experience, and their value by doing that shit. If you was really about it, and about that perspective, you'd be like, he did this to black women? Oh, nah.
Right.
Give this motherfucker
very
100
simply,
years.
Very simply. He did what? To who? and if you're that type of person,
McKenna's back.
they black. Oh nah.
Mm-hmm.
Under the jail.
This is why I say a lot of that shit is cap, yo. I'll be watching them in almost every like situational topic that comes about. It's performative.
Bruh.
That's not why you're really pissed. You're pissed
No.
because you believe you can fly and he made you believe you can fly. So now you don't want nobody to corrupt that for you.
It's only two reasons. It's only ever that or you're protecting yourself.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
only ever the two reasons. There can be situations where you don't believe, where something is just an allegation
Right.
and there has not been enough proof.
Right.
I'm not putting y'all in this category.
Right.
That's fine. I'm with that. There are absolutely situations where there's just
Absolutely.
allegations, and I believe the allegations, so I'll go with that. But
I don't
gonna
have the
attack
facts
you.
right now, so I'm not. Right, exactly.
I'm not going to attack
exactly.
you if there's no
Exactly.
no evidence. No, facts,
Exactly.
absolutely not. But once there start being witnesses and videotapes and audio recordings, come on now. What are we doing here? What are we doing here?
I'm gonna tell you what. Whoa, we already established what they're doing. They're defending themselves,
Facts.
and I'm curious now because what is it that you're actually defending yourself from?
Right.
Are you defending yourself from weird ass thoughts
Right.
you've had with younger, underage women, or even some of the stuff he did that's completely brainwashing and abusing to women that was of age?
Right.
But it wasn't many of those. It was still young as a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Or are you defending yourself from actual behavior that you have engaged in and you know you have? It's right up here. So when we have these conversations,
Flashbacks.
you're having the flashbacks. This could mean me. What if I get caught up in, especially during the pinnacle of the Me Too movement, where the fear was placed in a lot of you jackal ass men who know you didn't did something. So now it's in your interest to undermine that narrative, just in case one of the people you violated decides to come out and say something.
Right.
I'm no longer giving y'all the benefit of the doubt of saying that nah, because it's too much shit has come out.
There's too much smoke.
It's too much smoke, and you still on that same dumb shit. So now I'm looking at you, and I mean this in all sincerity. Stay the fuck away from my kids.
Facts.
Stay the fuck away from my wife. Fuck away from my sister, her kids. Stay away from them.
Yeah, facts. Joe said they might have gone easier on the white woman, but they didn't go unjustifiably hard on the black man. Now, here's the thing. I don't know enough about her case. Because I'm not particularly, I don't have a dog. Like, I'm not particularly interested. The whole molestation thing, being trash, is trash. Absolutely. My heart bleeds for that.
Her being a groomer.
But the rest of it, I don't have a dog. With this R. Kelly thing, I have a bit of a dog in this fight. I'm a fan of R. Kelly's music. I've grown up listening to R. Kelly, him being this icon, this unstoppable, untouchable figure.
Yeah,
and
yo.
The fact of me maturing throughout my life and learning values and gaining values and figuring this out, figuring that out, and seeing how I think things should go, and developing my moral compass, and seeing him go from that to now him being held accountable for these things. I have a dog in this fight.
Right.
So I'm way more in tune with the particulars. But just from what I know, again, I can't even really say that they went soft on her because, again,
you don't know the particulars of the case.
Right. From what I know, she was an accomplice.
Yeah, she was the
not
groomer.
The head honcho.
Right. So it just makes sense that
the head honcho would get more.
Right. And he would have had these.
Epstein's not here anymore.
Right.
So,
would have had he survived. It's the other thing that I always try to bring further context to. Right. Like, this is one of the reasons why I don't be giving motherfuckers slack, especially when they are of a certain age, is because I was toxic as fuck.
Yeah.
And I remember myself at that time. I remember the positions I held. I remember all of that shit. Just like I remember the things it took for me to not be that.
Yeah.
It's a simple matter of changing your mind. And being having your mind to be allowed to change with new data. It's really simple.
Not necessarily going to be easy.
Nope.
Not necessarily going to be quick.
Nope.
But it's a simple solution.
Yo, if you open your mind up to new data, whatever you thought about certain things that happened in our society or whatever when you were a child, the older you get, you're supposed to learn more about life. And you're supposed to go about your way, learn that other people have different experiences than you.
Allow things to be questioned.
And some of you motherfuckers refuse to do that because you think it's a sign of strength to dig in like a tick on a position regardless of the facts and evidence that come before you. Right. And it's not. That's weak as fuck. You're afraid.
Facts.
You're afraid. And that's all that is. I see a lot of y'all, man, to this day, running defense, being a bullet shield for these toxic motherfuckers.
Joe said, I agree. My statements are mostly for the people trying to run cover for Kelly. Absolutely. Fuck them. Yep. Absolutely.
Fuck them, man.
Yeah, I'm not.
Too much evidence that came out.
I'm not here for it. I don't care. Like, R. Kelly could have gotten 75 years and I'd have been like,
I wouldn't have gave a fuck. You're not going to get me one day standing out there with a goddamn picket sign talking about.
There's
For
no
him?
amount of time that
Fuck
they
him.
could have given him to make me be like, oh man,
Yeah, nah.
no.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I lied.
If they'd have gave him 3 years,
If they'd have
I'd
gave
been
him
mad.
right, I'd have been like,
mad.
oh man, what the fuck is
The fuck is y'all doing?
y'all doing? Like,
what y'all doing?
there were 17 women. What are you? 3 years, nigga. There are more women than there are months in the. Not literally. I know.
Not
Man,
literally,
I understand. But I'm just saying. Like,
Yo.
what the fuck is going on?
Fuck out of here. That's why I said, yo, like, there ain't it's no excuse for you to stay old and dusty after all these years and all these facts that came out, and you still promote. Because again, we've said this on the show before. There are people that go into these conversations with a complete other agenda that's not the specific case in front that we're talking about. They have these other pieces of agenda and things running around their head, and what they want to do is not be judged for the shit that they've done or they think. And they know that if the shit that they've done comes out, they'll be judged by it, and they want to curate the narrative around that so that they get leeway. And we're not doing that. We're not doing that. If you're abusing women, if you're abusing girls, if you're abusing little boys, if you're abusing people, fuck you.
That's simple.
Fuck
if
you.
If you are doing anything to intentionally abuse another human being, I don't care. I
don't care.
Nah. If there is a way that you are unintentionally abusing people, there's a little more leeway for that.
Right.
Because things happen. Absolutely.
Right.
There are decisions that we make.
And
all the
also,
time.
if you was somebody that did some shit back in the day that you did not think of as abusive, come on,
Right.
and you're
There's leeway
repentant
for
of
that.
it, there's
Yeah,
leeway for that. But if you're the type of person that, like Kelly,
I
up
ain't do nothing
until
wrong.
the last, I ain't do nothing wrong.
wrong.
No.
Nah, B.
No.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way. And apparently, because I don't think that article, either one of those articles I read brought it up. Let's look at this timeline for real. It's not just I ain't do nothing wrong, right?
Right.
That would be bad enough. That
Right.
would be enough for me to be like, fuck you, right?
Right.
But it was, I was having sex with a 15-year-old when I started. Then after I got away with that, I married Aaliyah. Then after I got away with that, there were more young, underaged, or just barely above age women that I manipulated under the guise of being some type of mentor or whatever the case may be. Then when I got away with that, there was even more, and the sex tape came out, and this and that. Then when I got away with that, for a little while, I laid low in the public eye as far as those allegations are concerned. I was just, as far as the public knew, it was just music. But then it came back that there were sex dungeons. And then I get away with that. It's like, what? No, what are we doing? What are we doing? No, absolutely not. What he did was, effectively, learned from the quote-unquote, he learned from the practical mistakes that he made insofar as to how not to get caught.
Yes.
And he didn't do it completely because a lot of criminals, not even criminals, a lot of people just simply aren't as smart as they believe they are.
Yo, yeah, a lot of people pray.
Bruh,
that's a species-wide phenomenon right there.
Simply not as smart as they believe they are. So, yeah, there are things that you can improve on, absolutely. But that, just because you looked at everything that you did wrong in the past doesn't mean you've looked at everything that you could potentially do wrong in the future. So, yes, eventually he got caught again. So, yeah. There's literally no, I cannot accept. I spoke one here about the argument I had with this dude. One of them aggressive black men. One of those what up, Gray? One of those aggressive black men. One of those that if you're having a conversation with them, they may grab your shoulder. There may be some physical. No, it's nothing. There's no beef. There's nothing. Nobody's in danger or anything like that. But there could potentially be some little bit of a tussle going on when they get passionate about their point.
Right.
I had a knockdown drag out with one of them in a bar. about this whole R. Kelly thing, and it's like, nah, B, we're not. It wasn't just about R. Kelly. It was about R. Kelly and Bill Cosby. Just it was his initial take going into the conversation was the black man, the black man, the black man, and I told him, yeah, but the black woman.
And this is what always gets overlooked in all these conversations, B. That's why I always say, like, you're not gonna hit me with the pro-black jargon,
right?
But you're not considering black women. Sorry,
there would be no black man that work for a black woman.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Like, I get you, and in general, I see where you're going. I see that it's coming from a good place in general. You particularly, I'm not talking about all these motherfuckers.
Yes.
No, you particularly, I understand that.
But you're overlooking the other half of the equation. The other half
all
of the
Bill
equation.
Cosby's victims were not black women, but all of R. Kelly's were.
Yeah.
That we know of.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, and a couple black men.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, too.
Yeah.
Now,
miss me with that, B. Miss me with that. Like, miss me. Once again, if you keep finding yourself in a situation where you're running interference for some of the worst people on the planet, it's time to, if you are a person of good character who's not mean, maybe you might want to just do it. But if you are one of those assholes that are hiding yourself, hiding the things you're doing, the shit you're involved with, by defending them, is you in your mind, you're defending yourself. Fuck out of here.
Thanks.
Fuck out of here. You're a piece of garbage and stay the fuck away from my kids. All right? Stay the fuck away from my kids.
Joe says
that's
what
all.
pisses me off is that the shit was an open secret for decades. Chappelle made a song about it on the show. It's not just Chappelle. Boondocks did something about it. Chappelle did something about it. I'm sure Key and Peele did something about it. I'm sure SNL did something about it. Like, bro, it wasn't just it was
one of the most open secrets. This is the other thing that bothers me too, because in the entertainment industry, while there are a bunch of peons that work in there, as far as the actual artists and people of note that we get presented to, that community is relatively small. Motherfuckers meet each other, they see each other, they know they hang out. You may not even know they hang out, but they hang out, know each other. These things was known. We see a lot of cases of this in that circle.
Right.
Where these motherfuckers, there's some shit going on there that everybody in that circle knows about, but the public don't really know about. And then when the shit gets to the public, these motherfuckers are so quiet. They know they got intimate knowledge of a lot of this shit. They ain't saying nothing because they concerned about their brand. So they're like, I don't want to get involved. I'm over here doing this. I'm dancing. Well, I just was in this new movie. I'm singing this song.
Here's the thing. All of you are complicit.
Yes.
I don't.
Yes.
So all right. So there are very special situations that exclude people. Honestly, I'll exclude Dame Dash. Aaliyah told him to leave it alone. Aaliyah told him not to worry about it. Don't do anything.
Right.
So on a very rare occasion,
right,
I am going to exclude Dame Dash and say that he did nothing wrong.
He probably was in a fucked up situation. Was like,
oh yeah,
am I violating her by doing
right?
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that led to the breakup of Rockefeller, because Jay-Z did the whole best of both worlds and
see how funny when all this shit start coming out, B?
Right.
See how this shit
that shit was?
Yeah.
Mind you, again, it was back when Aaliyah was still alive when all this shit. Yeah. So Dame Dash said basically she told him leave it alone. Don't do nothing. I don't want nothing to do with him. As much as I can avoid him, I want to avoid him.
Right.
I don't want to be involved in any way, shape, or form. So,
but
the rest of you motherfuckers,
yeah.
Anybody else that has worked with him, particularly those at his age, like I am not that person. My generation is not culpable for this. We were 8. That's not. No.
Also, you were never in those circles.
But no.
You were never privy to intimate knowledge.
I look differently at a Chris Brown working with R. Kelly, with a T-Pain working with R. Kelly, than I do with a Mary J. Blige working with R. Kelly or with a Jay-Z working with R. Kelly.
Right.
Because y'all his age. Y'all was around out here doing that shit back then. T-Pain, Chris Brown. We weren't. No, we were, but we lads.
Right.
When all this shit was originally going on.
That's a fact.
So, yeah, they're still complicit. Because they became grown and decided
and they knew what the fuck. Yeah, they knew.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, you're not excused.
Nah.
You're just not on the same level as the ones that were around back then. Like, fuck all that.
Tell the truth, shame the devil. The reality of the situation is a lot of you motherfuckers was heavily involved. You knew what was going on. You said nothing. Now, and you didn't have the private conversation with Aaliyah or whatever, or one of the victims to say, please don't say something. Please don't say anything. You ain't had that. You don't have that to fall back on. Yeah. So, again, a lot of these motherfuckers get quiet, man. They get so quiet, like I ain't know nothing. And that's why, honestly, I treat them the same way I do giant corporations when they do some altruistic thing. I'm always, because this shit happening that you ain't copping to, or you ain't even telling nobody. That remember they tell us, if you see something, say something.
Bruh, that's gaslighting. That is gaslighting for so many reasons. Because no matter what, depending on what the context is of the thing that you see, and who you are, and what's happening while you see it, and everything else around it. If we're talking about if you somebody in the hood and you see somebody get robbed, it behooves you not to say anything.
Especially when you don't, as somebody
in reality
who has years in the past, I have seen people threaten entire neighborhoods.
Yeah.
I've seen people do some crazy ass shit, ultra violent bullshit in broad daylight, and then turn around to everybody. Well, I wish one of y'all would say anything, and it was a credible threat because they knew what this person was capable of. They knew the stroke and power this person had, the ability to get. So the people standing there that watched this shit said, "No, I was out there," and they wound up eventually catching the people that did it. I watched someone get 20-man dogpiled in front of the bar corner. I'm maybe a block away, but where that bar corner is at, there's houses right there, and people were on the porches. They could clearly see faces and all of that, and they killed that dude out there. And when the police came around there and turned around and looked at people like, yo, anybody see that? People just went back in their fucking house because the guy that had that done was a credible threat to have this many people on one guy out here. What's he going to do to you?
Yo,
if he finds out you tell him.
Here's the thing. Black man outrage aside. I'm going to put that in my back pocket for right now. I know this is going to come as a shock for some people. Again, this has nothing to do with me being black at all. Police don't prevent crime.
They don't, yo.
That has never been their job. That has never been the intention.
They come after the fact, bro.
They come after the crime has been committed.
Yeah, they come after the fact, bro.
Sure, you have some detectives who are involved in long-term operations to try and stop the ultimate crime from happening. No, we're talking about police officers every day on the job, out in the field, patrolmen.
Yeah.
They do not stop crime. They don't prevent.
They don't prevent crime.
They may arrive before the crime has been actually committed, and they may stop it.
Or you might have an argument where, oh damn, the police there, we're not going to do that here.
Right.
Sort of thing.
But outside,
but that's all passive. That's all. Yeah.
So you are in a situation where this person lives in your neighborhood, or has people who live in
your neighborhood.
The police don't live in your neighborhood.
Right.
So yeah,
They're not saying they're gonna prioritize the well-being of themselves and their family and their household. So when the 800-pound gorilla in the neighborhood with other 400-pound gorillas at his side are out there doing heinous shit, people are easy to judge. It's quick to judge and say, I know y'all saw it. How can they say something? Because we don't want them gorillas tap dancing on our heads.
It's that simple. It's really that simple. There's nothing that you can do to stop this from happening.
You can't protect me.
You might know who it is after it happens.
Right.
It's not really helpful to me. I'm gone. I'm gone at that point.
I'm gone at that point. Well, I lost family members and some shit. And for those who have not had to live through any of that sort of thing, I got to tell you, it's not just TV. Like, no, they go after your folks.
Right.
They go after your folks.
Yeah. Now, to relay that statement back to what we were talking about, sure, if someone molests you, you should say something. But guess what? Again, that's gaslighting, because the reality has taught us that,
y'all gonna say they lying.
Right.
Yeah, that's what reality told. Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Are you sure you didn't? What were you
wearing?
Like, get the fuck out.
Right.
So, yeah. Again,
y'all can't continuously make it hard for people to come out and say something and then complain when people don't come out and say nothing.
So again, when addressing problems, ideals are not the way to go. Yes, ideally, if you see something, say something. 100%. That is absolutely a sentiment that I can get behind in the ideal.
But in practicality, it's not. That's not always.
There are a myriad of reasons why one would not say something, or why one's ability, one's decision to say something is rendered moot.
And also, because humans are typically trash, there are certain things people are going to prioritize over somebody else's well-being. This is why I really don't like the way a lot of fiction kind of works too, where it presents humans, they'll eventually do the right thing. Where
that whole tidy bow thing,
right?
That's not a real thing.
Right. Where?
Here's the thing, and this obviously won't work with everything, but it works in this example. Anytime you decide to start to adhere to, I'm going to start calling tidy bow theory. Try yourself to tie a tidy bow.
Please.
Just attempt it.
Please.
If you're not known for tying bow, try. Just
Please.
try. Try to tie a tidy bow and
Please.
see how close you get. Eventually, if you work at it, you might get a little bit better. But off cuff, it's not in your nature to be able to do that. Why? Because it's not how things generally happen on their own.
Not in practicality.
There are things that may force a tidy situation.
That's typically what winds up happening. Where motherfuckers are forced. Like, one of the biggest motivators for humans is fear.
Bruh.
That's one of the biggest motivators. So in a situation where somebody has something to fear, it's going to motivate them to look out for their own self-interest. And a lot of those times, that is not the self-interest of the person that's being victimized. It happens. This is what humans do. I know those shows always show, some shit where finally they came out and they just did the right thing because it's the right thing to do. That's not what typically happens.
Not really. McKenna says not to mention the mental health impact. Something like rape inflicts over anything else. They have to look after themselves, and if it's detrimental to your mental health, to speak before you're ready.
Before you're ready, right?
Pressure to do so is so damaging.
Absolutely. These are just the facts.
It's just how it works, bro. Again, stop coming at these issues with these dumbass ideals. Like, in theory, not even in theory, in a perfect world, ideals work.
And the moment you have to say in a perfect world, you automatically know that shit don't work.
Exactly.
Not in practicality. Not in the real world.
No,
that shit don't work.
You might get lucky here and there. Sure.
You get lucky here and there, right?
But by and large, that is not how it's going to end for you.
Selfish, scared, panicky apes.
Yep.
That's it. That's it.
And here's the thing. those aren't disparaging adjectives.
No,
Those are just the facts.
Not only are they just the facts, but a lot of that had a lot to do with why we as a species
advancement
survived.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like that fear as a motivator kept us from going to see what that noise was in the bushes.
Mm-hmm.
That noise in the bush probably was a chipmunk. But the fear in our mind is
that's a lion.
That's a lion. I'm not going in there. I'm not going in there. I'm a err on the side of me not getting ate. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna go the other direction. That shit was a survival mechanism, and we passed that shit on. Passed it on. We passed it on. So that's why you think I honestly believe that's one of the reasons that we hold up the people that do selfless acts. The way we or acts we perceive to be selfless, we hold them up because we know the vaginas ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? Like you manage to conquer the fear to go and do some shit like that?
Right. You managed to think about others and put them first?
Wow.
Oh my God. Yes, because that's not our nature.
And here's the other thing. And listen, I got a homeboy. Where I don't know if it was bravery as much if he was just crazy. But see, I knew him in every other aspect of his life. We hung together every day. This was my road dog. So I know what the shit he's capable of, right? So there was a fire up on Leonard Street some years ago. And it was an old man and an old woman in that house trapped. And he ran in there and got them out. And the city lauded him. They gave him some little certificate thingy and all that for saving these people. He's such a brave man. They don't know him like I know him. That was a great thing. He weaponized his crazy. That's all that I'm telling you.
Yo, listen to me, Clay.
I'm telling you.
If I was him, I would have skipped the ceremony. Let's not stand on ceremony, Mr. Wayne.
Yeah, man. Let's not stand on ceremony, Mr. Wayne.
No, I don't need your
Bro,
cheers.
I'm
seeing what you. Oh, okay.
Yo, let me tell you, he weaponized because this homeboy of mine was one of them. He was one of them. And the whole block knew he was one of them. He was one of them. And I'm telling you, when he went and did that, it was so brave. People that don't know, it's so brave. Brave. None of that is a factor for this guy. None of that's a factor. Now he's grown up and he's no longer. Sure. But at that time, that wasn't a factor. My man was going to do. He was going to, regardless of the consequences, if that moved him to do, he was going to do that. Hey. And sometimes y'all was going to look at that and go, yay! But there's a lot of times you're going to look at it and go, oh my God! Oh my God! So that same energy that had him hitting them old people out of that house is that same energy that had him doing something that will horrify you. And will absolutely horrify you. So it's the norm for humans to be afraid.
Yeah.
That's the norm. And they're going to make decisions based off of that fear or whether or not they can overcome that fear, because that does happen too. And I think it happens for most people that there's a certain point, certain periods in your life where certain events take place where despite the fear, for your own self-interest, you manage to overcome that and do that. I just don't think it happens as often as people think.
Nah, bro.
It don't happen as often as people think.
We see that shit in TV and movies, and it look good.
Right. It look good, but
it look good. I wish I could be that selfless in a situation like that. I mean, there are absolutely situations where I have been selfless and believe that I would be selfless, but
a lot of that
that's
too,
something I have
me,
to work on.
It's also been rage.
You have to do something.
Yeah, yo. A lot of times it was another negative emotion that drove me to go over top of that, like rage. Like I'm angry, I'm mad. Right. So now that I'm mad, fuck fearing the outcome. I'm going at the target of my rage, and I'm gonna deal with that shit afterwards, which is technically another negative emotion that took to go over the fear shit for me to do that. Now, fuck this. I'm doing this now. And we're going to talk about what's going to happen after that.
Absolutely. We're going to deal with the consequences later.
That's it.
What could have? You could have. I didn't.
And I'm good with that. I'm going to stand on that.
Yeah,
fuck them.
That don't mean I'm gonna make that type of chance, take that type of chance again.
Nah,
that means that in this situation,
I did what I did. I did what I did. Like, I did what I did. Some of it also is a sense of fear in another way. For instance, the fear that your child may get injured or somebody is threatening them and go through with that threat will have you kill a motherfucker out here in these streets. Sure. There ain't no doubt about it. That's still part of the fear, though. Fear that you gonna take this from what? Yeah. Nah, you got to pay. You're going to pay. You're going to pay.
Because see, the logical thing, and I've seen a lot of jokes about that, and I think that's why the jokes work. But nobody wants to say this out loud, so I'll say it. The logical thing is, you can make another child.
Yeah,
that's the logical thing. Mm-hmm. And that's how a lot of animals in the animal kingdom. That's how they negotiate. They'll
defend up to a point
as much as they can,
and then they go.
And once they realize, it's a cost benefit.
No win situation. Yeah.
Cost benefit analysis. All right, you stay here.
I'll make another one.
I'll make
another one.
You've done well.
Yeah.
That'll do, pig.
You've done well.
That'll do, pig. But
it's hilarious.
Again, there are absolutely times where it's not in the best interest of what's going on to be strictly logical.
No, it's not. Yeah. It's not. Just like Joe said, we're the descendants of the real winners. Whatever it took to survive, survive. That's it. Yeah. But anyway, we ran a little long, but it was fun. We want to thank everybody for once again showing up for another Saturday. Hijinks from the Black Culture Geeks. Please do not forget, there are 3 days left for the Kickstarter, the Majestic Comics Issue 0 Kickstarter. So if you haven't supported and you intend to, you got 3 days.
Got to get on it.
To get on that.
It's Monday.
And that's it. It's been a great experience. I'm glad we got a chance to get this business thing together, to get this story out, to be able to get this company going.
I'm personally happy that that this platform was even able to help.
Yo, right?
Because like, nigga, I was like, oh yeah, let's do this.
Right?
Let's do that. So,
bro, it's dope. It's dope in so many ways. This company could be a vehicle to help so many in our community. With any ideas you may have, and just a lot of things that go with having a company like this, and the things that the story and product and our people trying to provide. There's other people in our community that do things. Cindy makes dice. All of these things, one hand helps the other. You know what I'm saying? So to see the community come out and do that, that's something that's overwhelming for me, Joseph, and Graydon. So appreciate you on that. Don't forget to check out my man Jaded Nerd's channel.
Absolutely.
Appreciate him for popping in. Yo, on the low, I'll be checking out a lot of his shit, yo. And I'll be getting them conversations with him because he be having some good conversations on there, yo.
Yeah, sometimes I don't comment, but I'll be in like,
he be in there, you know what I'm saying?
What's going on here?
You know what I mean? What's going on? What's happening? You know what I'm saying? Right. Also, don't forget the Metas and Mutant podcast with our brother Super Sci Guy.
Absolutely.
We gotta convince him to do some more blogging. He hasn't
blogged bro. In a while. Like I ain't gonna say that on here, but
you need it'd be nice to get some. But he might be busy. He might have a lot of shows too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And of course, you're dropping the deeper dive tomorrow. Right?
Tomorrow.
Yo, I've already seen it. It's fire. It's fire.
This is potentially. Little things aside, little preferences aside, this may be my magnum opus.
Yo, I was just thinking that. I was just thinking
like this might be the best YouTube video I've ever made.
But I see, but it's going up on a scale because since this series, like it seems like all the culmination of all the skills you've learned and about how to narrate and how to edit video and the presentation of it. It seemed like you threw all of that into this.
I did.
So that shit is dope.
Absolutely did.
That shit is fire.
So yeah, it's like, and now I see, like, when I'm starting the Deeper Dive series up until I started working on this script, I was like, I want to try to keep them short. I'm gonna try to keep them short. And then I realized, like,
This one's long.
No, yo, a lot of these fucking some of them
are.
There was one that I meant to send to you, but I kept hesitating to send to you because it was over an hour long.
Yo, I just watched one that was an hour and 40 minutes.
Right. And I'm like,
I watched it through the course of the day.
But it was absolutely like, it absolutely called for it to be an hour.
Be that, right,
so I was like, all right. And then I've been meant to address this topic on a deeper dive, but my thing was, how could I justify? It's just a song. Like most of the stuff I talk about is series.
Right.
There are hours and hours of content.
Right.
A movie, 1.5 hours of content.
Right.
4-minute tread.
Right.
How can I actually make this a full video? And sure enough,
it's easy to, because you picked it apart, and the shit that you needed to examine, you examined, and it should have go longer than you think. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
should have go longer than you think.
When I finished the script, I'm like, oh, 5 pages. The fuck?
5 pages, but again, it was narrated well, it's edited well, sound quality is good. Like, I feel it's your best work in that space.
Yeah.
It's your best work in that space.
Yeah. So if you're anybody, again, y'all should already be subscribed to the Multi-World channel because this is Multi-World. So y'all should already be subscribed. But if you're not, go hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, and all that other good stuff.
Absolutely.
And if you haven't watched any of the Deeper Dives yet, I know some of you aren't into the hip hop and all that other. Even if you're not, go watch this one video just because of the stuff that I did in it. I legitimately think it's the best YouTube video I've ever made.
I agree. So for my man SPJ, I am Tombstone the Dead Man, and for the greater Multi-World Entertainment family, we are, which includes you guys, we are out of here.